Hello, Durud and Shalom, and hola. Hi, Monkey.
Hola, how you doing?
Good, good. We have major escalations, not at the level that you and I wanted, but still escalations. What are you? How do you feel about the current escalations? Probably
I
like
want more.
you want more. You want more. We could. I have some interesting videos from the ground. Last time I showed you these Shabby people getting bombed and people saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and running away. Today I have some videos to show as well, but we're gonna wait for more people to gather before I show that. But while we wait for people, let's just get an update on what the hell is happening. And then I'll show you these interesting videos that we've gathered, and Monkey and I will react to them. People are already here in the chat, so guys, we're going to try to keep an eye on you guys and see what you guys are saying, and highlight your comments and maybe respond to them as they come. But for now, let's just get a quick update.
The U.S. launching a new round of strikes on Iran, but the Islamic Republic may soon be receiving some backup from China. A new report says the following, quote, Iran is expected to receive within weeks a first shipment out of up to 400 Chinese-made shoulder-fired air defense missile launchers. The purchase, valued at $60 to $70 million, is one of Tehran's largest known efforts to strengthen its short-range air defenses. Here's what President Trump had to say when asked about this report.
Well, that would be surprising. I mean, things like that happen, but that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake, and he knows I'd be quite disappointed.
U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker.
Yeah, that's again, a lot of people say, he has to say that. Of course, he doesn't trust China, but the way, surface level, Monkey. I have to be honest here. If an average viewer is just looking at this, they're gonna be like, "What the hell? Like, did you like? Why would you trust Putin? Why would you trust China? Why would you just trust them saying like, oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna do that, and you just believed it? And like, why are you acting surprised that the CCP and Putin will lie and they will always support the Islamic Republic? So, like, can you tell me what the thinking is here? Because some people are saying like, no, Armin, this is not 5D chess. Obviously, Trump is naive. Like, look at what he's saying. Like, are you asking us to stop believing our lying eyes? Like, he thought that they will, just because he said it firmly, this means that he's not gonna he believed the CCP. Like, what would you say? Like, what is the play here? Why would he say that?
Well, if I'm not trying to steal, man, I mean, I'm trying to take it at surface value. I think this is a sleepy Trump. So it's like he became Joe Biden. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And everything he just said is retarded. That would be the surface level of analysis if I'm going to take him at his word and say this person isn't lying. Okay, if you're not lying, you're a retard.
Oh my god. Okay. If it's not surface level.
Okay, if it's not surface level, I'll say very disappointed is like a code word for you're pissing me off or something like that. And that we know where the packages are coming from, probably by truck, and we're just going to strike them when they get there. And that way China gets to keep the money and we get to not let them have it.
Okay, let me
we did with the corn.
Let me steel man President Trump and tell me if it's good steel manning or just delusional, making excuses for an obvious bad take. Okay, so imagine if I have a friend that is, if I have an employee that is showing up late for work, right? And people are like, Armin, stop talk to him. He's showing up late all the time, right? And instead of telling him, you need to be on time, I say, you know what? I know that you're trying to best to show up on time. And I know that going forward, you're going to be on time from now on. I just know it. And I just know it. I believe it. Like, I believe in you, man. I know you could do it. You know what I mean? And then, because I don't want to do what I have to do, if you keep showing up late, I don't want to have to do that. But I have so much trust that you're going to be on time, because you don't want to see what I'm going to do if you show up late. So it's just basically a different way of threatening people. Is that a proper, like? No.
I can't, right? Because that would mean that you're honestly thinking that he's going to change, that you're honestly thinking that this wasn't a plan, like it wasn't on purpose. That's accidental. You can't accidentally send $70 million worth of missiles. That's not like showing up late and instead of getting there on time. It's a very different scenario. The scenario I would say is like, you send them the missiles. I'm going to blow up the missiles. You keep the money, but they're not going to get the missiles. Just like sell the oil. They're allegedly going to get hay and corn, but they're not going to get it because they're going to start firing. Like they keep spending money. China gets the money. We get the intel on where it's coming, and we hit it on the way. That's the only smart steelman I can do.
I hope that you know what I like that idea. I hope that's what's happening, because $70 million of this missile system, that's going to be really bad, really bad right now. We don't need that right now, but yeah, let's continue.
Like that happen, but that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake, and he knows I'd be quite disappointed.
U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker, joined.
So again, saying that would be surprising. Let me be clear. Whatever the reason why he's saying that, I don't know, but it's not surprising at all for the CCP to do that. And also, I hope that the reaction is way more than "I'm just disappointed." There needs to be a major reaction to this, like hopefully what Monkey is saying.
Now, Ambassador, the Chinese-made weapons would greatly increase the threat to our pilots on missions over Iran. How should we respond to this?
Good morning, Todd. First, this is a very concerning report, and obviously China needs to stay out of this fight. It's not their fight, and the United States will pay very close attention if there are already attempted arms transfers from China to Iran. Likewise for Russia. But, this is where the United States and President Trump stands in a position of strength. We have all sorts of both military and economic ways to deal with this type of situation. Not going to get ahead of the president, obviously, but he has a lot of options as to how to deal with this before it happens, and if ultimately it would happen. That's that's the current position.
I mean, obviously,
if all of a sudden we get news that these things blew up on the way, I'm going to be the first that be like, Monkey was right. Okay, I will come here and we're like, Monkey got it again. Yes.
China's economic situation is dire. Like, dire is an understatement. They have a terrible economic situation, especially in their military sales sector. Like the companies that made this, if you can say, oh, well, this is the company that did it. The government didn't know. They do know. They own 51% or more of every company. In, like, even if you're a shoe company, they own more than half of it. So they do know. If they let it slide and let the sale pass, they're keeping the money. Now, if you say, oh, my private company did this, I'm not going to tell Iran I told the U.S., but I can leak it to U.S. to avoid a sanction. And I can, hey, these are the trucks. They're going down this convoy. Make sure you hit them. The problem with that is, do they get spread in Pakistan before they get to, Iran, and then get, instead of coming in one truck, in one caravan, instead of coming in one caravan, you have them spreading them out piecemeal, where it's a lot harder to get them with one strike. That would be my problem with that plan. But if it's just a caravan going straight to wherever they're going to take them inside Iran, that's what I would do if I was China. If I'm China, I'm going broke. I got so many problems. I need the money, but I don't want the sanctions because I'll lose more money with the sanctions. I'll take the money and I'll snitch it out to USA.
Okay.
That includes things like sanctions and the like. It'll be interesting to see because, the Xi Jinping is denying that this is happening. Obviously, you always have to take whatever you hear from the CCP and its leaders with a grain of salt, but certainly a concerning development. On the other hand, Ambassador, I would say this is a major change going forward in the war. You heard President Trump say yesterday, use some colorful language. I'm not going to repeat it here on what we are going to do to Iran. But these latest strikes by our forces were actually done in conjunction with the Saudis. How significant is that a development in the fact that like the Saudis are now joining us when before they may have been a little bit more reticent to do so.
Yeah, there is no doubt that the Gulf states are on the side of the United States, whether they would have
Persian Gulf states
been before this fight started. But, remember what's happening. The Iranians try to strike the United States interests in the region. We intercept all those missiles with our Patriot systems and our Aegis systems on our battleships. We respond in multiples of what they try to attack us with, and every single munition hits its target. And so it's to some extent an unfair fight because, again, the United States has such great weapons. But, President Trump continues to hold all the cards, would love a diplomatic solution to this, but we are going to always be coming from a position of strength, and any attempt to attack the United States is going to be met with overwhelming force.
From one theater to another, Russia launching a ballistic.
I'm not getting that much new information from this guy. Jesse Waters does better. I'll go to him before I show you this crazy video that I got from inside Iraq, which is quite interesting. This video is going viral on Iranian social media, and it's getting Persian explanations on it. I'll go to that. That's like something that the Iranian people are watching, and they're loving watching it. Really quickly, let me look at the super chats. Dan, thank you so much for the 10 jewels. We're getting jewels now on our channel. Thank you so much. Fleshy Interloper with a super chat saying, this is the price of delay and deal chit chat. Yeah, Fleshy and Monkey. Fleshy is with you, Monkey. He's done with all of this. He wants to go all in.
Well, the big problem here is if you're ever going to have a ground operation and you ever need to move helicopters and you ever need to move supply planes in, that's the fucking type of shoulder-fired missile system that you have to be the most afraid of, that could cause the most damage. You can't have that enter. For the next phase, if we are going in, if we are doing a humanitarian mission to help the people of Iran take over take control of their country, we can't let that arrive. And allowing time to give these situations a chance is a problem.
True. And thank you, Fleshy. You want to read this one from George? Thank you, George.
George Hansen says, Trump speaks obliquely. It requires a course in Trump trigonometry to understand. Yes. It's like Trumponics. Ever heard of Eubonics? Well, you need Trumponics to be able to understand the language.
Okay. Well, I mean, given that how complicated it is to understand it, then I guess we'll just have to judge based on what happens rather than what is being said. Right? And thank you, George. Thank you for.
I'll just call him a retard until he says something that's smart. I'm like, look, I can understand what you're trying to do behind the scenes, but telling us this makes you sound like a retard. Like you could say, well, we don't know how directly they are tied to this situation. If this situation is, a factual, we have people that are looking into it. There's a lot of things that you can say that aren't official, that also, I trust he talked to me and he said, there's a lot of ways, like I'm just a regular monkey. And if a monkey can do it, he can do it. He could just say, we're looking into it. We have heard those reports. We're taking it into account. Next question.
You know what? I'll vote for you, Monkey. Run for president. Okay. Let me see. Jesse Waters with the better update. Oh, actually, this is only just 36 seconds.
Fox News alert moments ago, Donald Trump just unleashed a new round of airstrikes against Iran. It sounds like part of a more intensive air campaign pitched to him by CENTCOM Commander Cooper. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. Cooper's plan goes beyond the tit-for-tat airstrikes the past couple of weeks and is designed to deliver a body blow to Iran's missile capabilities. This is the go big option. Trump apparently is in an escalatory mood, telling Fox this morning, quote, we're going to beat the effing out of them. And now, bombs away.
I heard Admiral Cooper is having had a plan, a 2-week operation to go in and destroy so much, like basically at the level of epic fury. But so far, something like that hasn't started. But that's what Admiral Cooper basically offered to President Trump.
This would be disappointing. I don't want their missile system gone. I want the IRGC gone.
Yeah. But do you think? Well, let me actually see. I'll look this up. I want to see if we have any more details with the. So Admiral Cooper. So let me actually get this going. Admiral Cooper of CENTCOM provided a 2-week plan for kinetic operations against the Islamic Republic recently. What are the details of that plan? So I'll look that up while we listen to this. Oh, we got also Renee. Thank you so much for the 10 joules. I appreciate you. Let's go here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized.
Wait, what is this in response to? Let me see. Trump on Iranian attacks. It was a different group than the one we are dealing with. Oh my God. So he's trying to say like the people we're talking to within the Islamic
Look, if
Republic.
the government can't control the IRGC, they're not the government. You have a dysfunctional government. You can't deal with them. You have to declare them a non-functional government and either deal with the military or create a government in exile.
I don't like this. It's like they already apologized. Who cares? They apologize. Look at this.
It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but we got to smack them a little bit.
Just smack him a little bit. Just to smack him. This is back.
This
to
is
tit for
retarded.
tat? Okay.
This is retarded.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So let's see. I mean, I hope this is like. Could it be that this is mind games and they're gonna do something actually a lot bigger? Like who cares about that? Like they're gonna keep hitting you, and then we're like, it wasn't us, it was them. We're sorry. So they
Listen.
get away with it? Yeah.
His last vice president was Pence. His new vice president is JD Pence. The first time JD Pence, yes, JD, the first Mike Pence and then JD Pence, like two-faced pieces of shit. Like his current vice president appears to be a two-faced piece of shit. His last vice president was a two-faced piece of shit. His last DOJ, Pam Bondi, was a two-faced piece of shit. Like, yeah, am I supposed to be like, okay, I'm gonna look at all the positives and none of the negatives? I'm gonna forget that this guy keeps having to fire people because he hires terrible people, and then the people that are good he doesn't listen to. Like, I can't have this super optimistic view or try to act like some politician where I can't speak too harshly about it. I'm not a politician and I'm a monkey, and a monkey can tell you when you're being retarded, and this is being retarded. You're going to be the president that took away their nuclear and gave them 1,000 Wuhans. Is that what you want to do? Is that what your legacy? I passed the buck down. I took their nuclear, but I left them there. And because I left them there, now we have 1,000 Wuhans inside Iran. Thank you for your attention to this monkey matter.
The precedent that is being set here is that we can bomb you, and then when you're talking to us, we're like, sorry, it wasn't us, it was those others guys, and we apologize, and then we could get away with it. And you're not going to end us. You're just going to hit something else, and we're going to survive it. That's what the lesson here is. So we can get away with hitting more. This will put American soldiers at risk here. Because the Islamic Republic now would be more daring because there's less consequences for them shooting missiles at American bases, and American soldiers could die because of the lack of meaningful reaction to them hitting U.S. bases.
I'm angry.
There's
no good reason. There's no good reason. Unless this is a lie. If this is a lie, then fine. If you are going to completely decimate and wipe out the IRGC, fine. If you are going to leave the IRGC in any way in power after all this, I can't say this is 64D Jenga. I can't say this is, 34D checkers. This is retarded. You can't leave them in power. How many? I thought all this was like, maybe, look, we're showing the world that we just can't leave these people in power. But if you're going to leave them in power and you keep thinking in your head that you can make some kind of deal with these people, and that even if they give you the nuclear dust and they allow inspectors in, that they're not going to go to something else, and that the other most powerful weapon in the world that isn't nuclear is creating 1,000 Wuhans, do you think no one else thought about it? If I thought about it, and I'm a monkey, I assure you that there are people all over the world. You know who's their friend? China. You know who made Wuhan? China. You think China isn't thinking about telling them, hey, stop with the nuclear. I got your Wuhan. I got your 1,000 Wuhan. I make 1,000 Wuhan like I gave you 1 million camera. I'll make you Wuhan from north to south, east to west. You could take your DoCA suicidal people, inject them with them, send them with visas everywhere, all over the world. They don't care. They'll probably give them a virus they have the cure to. This is retarded. It is retarded to think you can leave the IRGC in power.
Yeah. Again, it all depends on what actually happens. If something massive happens after, then this is all has been psychological 5D chess, misdirection. But if it doesn't, then this is all stupid. So it depends on what actually
just going off the words being said right now, it's retarded. If it turns out to be 64D Jenga, hey, you won the game.
Right. So let me see what he says over here.
It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but they tried shooting it last night. So we had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. It's going to be straight.
So when he says we're going to be hitting them hard, does that give you some satisfaction about?
No. I want to see the full spectrum strike, or just, you got to understand what I am being asked. I am asked to give an opinion of what these words mean right now. I have 2 positions. We're waiting for a stronger strike. Stand by. If I am asked, take these words at face value, as if he is communicating the truth. If I take these words at face value as if they are communicating the truth about his sentiment on this matter, it's retarded. It's just plain retarded, and I would understand why the people say, oh, this guy's a fucking retard. It is retarded. But if you remember, this is a war. He's not going to tell everyone what aces he have in his sleeve. He's not going to tell anyone exactly what the battle plan is. There might be another battle plan in the background. In that case, well, it's okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then Fit Over 50 Fitness, thank you so much for the 2 joules. I appreciate you. All right, let's continue. I think we already played this one. Yeah, we're going to be hitting them hard. Yeah, let me see. This reporter is asking something over here. Let me see.
On the drone attack on the LNG tanker off of Egypt.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that? And is there any indication it's Iran related? Does it represent?
Well, I'm going to give you a report. I've been briefed. It's a little more of the same, but it's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but they tried shooting it last night. So we had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. But they nevertheless took a shot. So it's our turn. And we'll see if we get there with an agreement at some point, but we're going to hit them.
Yeah, this is just tit for tat. Oh my God. At the end, he made it even worse. Tit for tat. We hit a bit harder.
So it's our turn. And we'll see if we get there with an agreement at some point, but we're going to hit them very hard.
And then we're going to get the agreement at some point. Yep. This is like tit for tat agreement. And then we got 2 comments that you want to respond to. One is a super chat. Let me actually read the super chat, and then we'll go to Dajjal. And also Shauna responding to Dajjal in the chat. Santa Fred Adventures is saying, not sure what everyone expected. As an American, I can say there is no more truth than this. America has no enemies and no allies, only interests. I mean, that's true with every country, like not just America. It's all about interests. I mean, but
it
America
is in
has
our
enemies.
interest to attack before they develop 1,000 Wuhans. It is in our interest to attack before they get thousands of shoulder-fired missiles. That's what's in our interest.
Also, America has enemies and allies because they have interests. So that is an incorrect quote. America has many enemies and many allies based on their interests. Your allies are the people. Your allies are only interests. No, that makes absolutely no sense. Your allies are the countries that have similar interests to you, and your enemies are the countries or groups that have contradictory interests to you, and they are and they stop at nothing to go against your interest in favor of their interests. That's what your enemies are. So I
I
don't
think
know
I know
why
what he's saying, though.
I know, but I think like it doesn't help to say America has no enemies, because I think even if it doesn't help. I think we shouldn't say that, because America has many.
You should say that they have enemies. It for 100% sure the IRGC is your enemy. Making a deal with them
Right.
is never going to work. They don't even have interest outside of war. That you can't, because if you're functioning, oh well, if I just serve their interest and our interest, this will all be over. That's a what do you call it? Naive stance. Like these people are your enemy. You can't see them as just having different interests as you. If you're thinking business, I think what he's talking, or you know, America sees everything like a business, but you can't see the IRGC like you see a business deal.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what people miss with the IRGC, because like you're like, oh, we have interest, your interest. Maybe we're at war, but maybe we could come to an agreement. The IRGC, exactly, Monkey. You're completely right. They live in a different world, so you can't look at it like that. It's not.
I learned that from you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. There's a comment that you start from Dejal, and I saw that after you started, there was some follow up and some interaction. Do you want to go through that?
All right. Dejal says we must achieve real substantial victories or the Republicans are doomed. This is absolutely true. The midterms are coming, and we're not going to be accepting this tit for tat. This will just, I would say, demoralize the people that would vote and make them forget to even go. All right. Shano responds with, okay, but no one wants to hear that things take time to build out. You can't wait for them to gain the kind of weaponry and gain the kind of power that comes with things take time. That's the problem. This is a military operation. It takes time to build out a house. Takes time to build out a business. With the military, time is of the essence. You can't let them regroup and re-strategize. Shana, we have no reason at all to not be striking, them right now. None. It makes no fucking sense. I agree. I agree with that. I agree that's what we should be doing. Yeah, at the end they both agree we should be striking, but it may take out time to build out a strike package. I can understand that. We could be pussyfooting as a strategy. We don't know what Trump is going to do. That could be a strategy. Like I said, when you there's a difference between asking me what is my best case scenario for this and what those words mean at face value. If you're going to ask me and you want me to be honest, not lie to you your fucking face to fucking be here, gassing you up. If you don't want me to lie, if I take these words as face value as his honest thoughts, I'm going to tell you it's retarded. If you want me to take a military analysis, well, of course he's not going to tell you he's planning a massive strike. He's going to say, no, we're talking to them. Of course he's not going to tell you, yeah, the Chinese already told us where the truck is. We have the full data. When the truck gets there, we're going to blow it up. He's not going to tell you that. He's going to say, well, be surprising. Would I use different words? Yes, I would use different words because the words he's using does not make him look good. He could say, we're looking into that. Our intelligence sources are analyzing the situation. We may have some diplomatic calls to make about this to ascertain how much the government was involved and do our own investigations on that. That says the same thing without making you look stupid. That's my problem with the messaging. Unless you want to look stupid, which is another technique.
Yeah, you're right. Even if there is a 5D chess move is happening here, at the end of the day, those statements make you look stupid And if that is intentional, then okay. But it is making him look stupid, whatever the 5D chess move is.
If it make you look so stupid that it makes the enemy overconfident, that is a strategic play. It doesn't play well for the election, but if this is the military making yourself look dumb, making yourself, you understand what I'm saying? Like that could be the play. I'm not saying that's not the play, but if I have drunken master troller in chief, okay, I like this comment. I like this because drunken boxing is like a kung fu technique where you appear to be drunk or maybe are kind of drunk because it like lessens the blows, relaxes you a little bit. But you know exactly what you're doing. You just look like you're drunk. I like that.
Yes. By the way, you accidentally unstarred Fleshy, so I had to go back up and find him and star him back so we don't miss him.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fleshy. I'm sorry. Try isolationism. See how it works. It doesn't, Fleshy. Fleshy takes a good look at our how the trade is going in the Straits. I think he appreciates trade. I think he loves trade. I think especially sea trade. I could be wrong, but he's a bit of a salty dog. And you know what's good to have a salty dog among your folks to, have a little bit of a salty approach. But it's the spice of life.
Yes. I love Fleshy. I love his his sarcasm. It's pretty good. All right, so let's go here.
President Xi told you that China would not give or sell Iran any weapons. And there's a new report that Iran's about to get 400 rocket launchers from China going through Pakistan to Iran.
Well, that would be surprising. I mean, things like that happen, but that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake. And he knows I'd be quite disappointed. Yeah, please. And he's coming here, I think, on September 24th.
Oh my God.
The way he said quite disappointing, there's something about it. I don't know. And this is different because 400 rocket launcher is not the same thing as 400 shoulder fired. Like if it's rocket launchers, what kind of rockets are we talking about here?
Yeah. So again, guys, for people who missed it at the beginning of the show, Monkey was saying he's hoping the best case scenario is that China gets paid, the Islamic Republic is getting the launchers and their missiles and gets just bombed halfway, on the way to to Iran. China gets paid, Islamic Republic doesn't get its missiles. That's the best case scenario. But whatever the so-called 5D chess move behind the scenes are, it's not surprising at all. When President Trump said like, "Oh, it's surprising," he told me very firmly that he's not going to do it. You don't trust the CCP, and it's not at all like the CCP has never stopped supporting the Islamic Republic. So there's nothing surprising about that, just to be clear.
Yeah, you can't trust the CCP, but neither can Iran.
Right. True. They have backstabbed them a couple of times, and the Islamic Republic couldn't do anything about it. So that does make your theory a lot more, credible. The Islamic Republic has plausible. The Islamic Republic has been backstabbed by the CCP multiple times, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Okay, let's see what this is. Trump on Iran. I'd like to see tariffs on Iran. Lindsay wanted it. I think tariffs are such a, when it comes to this.
No, but
tariffs are.
He did say that though.
Yes, but tariffs, like, don't we mean sanctions? No.
Iran has tariffs, not just as sanctions. I think it's important. That's what Lindsay wanted, because I heard that they have tariffs on Russia, but not on those 5 countries having to do with Iran. I'd like to see tariffs on Iran. It would make it much stronger. So perhaps
Okay, I see what's going on here. Trump wants tariff. Lindsay wanted sanctions. He's mixing the two words over and over, so it seems.
Wait, let me go all the legs. Let's go all the way through. It's only 26 seconds, right? Let me just
on Iran. It would make it much stronger. So perhaps you're very good at this. You can maybe tell them. I think they should put in for Russia, but I think they should put in for Iran, and that's really what Lindsay wanted. Yep.
All right. So you're saying he's mixing it up. What is it?
Look, as far as I know, what Lindsey Graham was pushing for was a sanctions package for Russia. Not, as far as I know, it wasn't tariffs. Tariffs are very different from sanctions, right? It's a different word for a reason. If he is mixing in the word tariff and sanctions over and over, so that he can say that's what Lindsay wanted, that's deceitful. Because what Lindsay wanted was sanctions on Iran, sanctions on China, and sanctions on Russia. I believe his strongest case was for Russia, and that's why he was in Ukraine. As far as I know, this is me remembering, this is not me looking into his statements. As far as I know, it was a sanctions package that he was trying to get home. If Trump turns sanctions into tariffs, that's scummy. And I don't like that, because now you're just using a dead man's legacy to push your thing when his thing was much harder.
So I just looked it up while you were speaking. And by the way, Monkey, I appreciate that when you're not sure, you put skepticism in it. That's a really good thing. I admire about you. So, and I didn't know either what their answer is. So here's the answer. Okay. Senator Lindsey Graham championed a comprehensive maximum pressure approach that combined direct financial sanctions with heavy secondary tariffs. His legislative framework hit both the Iranian regime directly and penalized third priority nations buying oil from the Islamic Republic. I have more details on this, but that's the summary of it.
Well, if that's the case, then Trump is being completely honest in this case, and he is telling the people exactly what Lindsey Graham. Look, I'm right to think he could have been mixing it up, because he does this kind of stuff all the time. But it would be way scummier to do it to Lindsey. If he is just pushing forward a plan that Lindsey had for sanctions and tariffs, and he's mixing them in because they literally were mixed into the plan, then I understand it, and he's completely right to say this.
Yeah. So, yeah. So the way I would do it is sanctions for the Islamic Republic, tariffs for the people who are dealing with the Islamic Republic, sanctions and tariff. But for the Islamic Republic, nothing but sanctions. Tariffs are weak when it comes to the Islamic Republic. By the way, I told you that I was going to look into Admiral Cooper's plan that apparently just came out. So CENTCOM commander.
Before
Admiral,
you do that,
okay,
I want to clarify that Armin is absolutely right, because some of these people that are kind of dealing out the side with the IRGC might be some of our partners or businesses in the Persian Gulf. You're not going to sanction them because you're doing military operations with them. So the way to attack that is not through a sanctions package, because that goes over the whole state or the whole nation. You do tariffs because you get to target the business. So that's why Armin is absolutely right about why you would some people you got to do that deal with Iran. You have to use tariffs instead of sanctions. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you. Okay, so here's the thing. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Cooper presented a 10 to 14-day kinetic strike plan against the Islamic Republic, presented it to President Trump. The strategic proposal outlines a continuous air operation designed to systematically dismantle the offensive assets of the Iranian regime. Priority targets include IRGC command centers, ballistic missile launch installations, and drone storage facilities. The plan emphasizes securing critical maritime rights, specifically protecting military and commercial shipping across the Persian Gulf. This tactical framework provides options for sustained kinetic pressure following recent offensive. Okay, but this is not not even this is what we want. Is this just for southern Iran or Tehran? Is this meant to just topple the regime or just to remove their offensive capability?
Okay, go back in there and see what it says about command centers.
Okay, so priority targets include IRGC command centers, ballistic missile launch installations, and drone storage facilities.
Okay, this is here we step into what I don't know about the IRGC. If you take away every IRGC command center, what are they operating out of?
I mean, probably in apartments and residential areas. They will go
Well,
there.
we wouldn't want to hit that. Okay, so this could be a 5x5. I'm not sure. I have to talk to Jeff, but putting command centers in there makes me think, okay, this isn't just about offensive. This might just be the whole power base if you hit every command center wherever they're gathered. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this could be it.
Oh, here, you might be right. I got more detail. The 2-week kinetic strike plan covers targets nationwide, extending far beyond southern coastal areas to hit military assets deep inside Tehran. Operations targets strategic infrastructure across the territory of the Islamic Republic, combining deep penetration bombings with maritime security along the Persian Gulf. The core objective of SEPCOM is the complete removal and dismantling of the offensive missile, drone, and naval capabilities of the regime in Iran. While these strikes severely weaken the regional power of the Iranian regime, the military mandate focuses on threat neutralization rather than explicit regime change. As confirmed in operational reports on July 30th, the campaign focuses on systematically destroying the industrial capacity of the Iranian regime to manufacture standoff weapons. Does that give you any more clues?
That I have a problem with.
Hmm.
Because standoff weapon is not the same. Standoff is far.
But again, you always remind us that if the plan is regime change, it's not like they're going to publicly come and announce it. We should always take that into account as well, right?
Like, yes, the reason. Okay, I'm gonna stretch here a little bit. The reason you wouldn't call it a full wipeout of the military is because you don't want to touch Artesh.
Oh yeah, maybe.
If we are allowing the majority of Artesh to renounce the IRGC and convert, if we already have some secret Artesh people that are like, you know what, the IRGC treats me like shit, have been treating me like shit for a long time, and they are terrible for Iran. Like, even if I do believe in Allah, I don't believe Allah is helping these people. I believe Allah is destroying these people because they suck. Like, even if I was like, even if I believe Allah is not on these people's side. Allah is with Trump.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to
That's right.
Allah. I am Trump. Trump tells you the truth. You don't watch your news. You watch me.
We got 2 super chats. One of them is a good question. I want to see how you answer this, Monkey. Omid is saying Trump remains. Why are midterms so important? He's basically saying even with the midterm, Trump is still going to be president. So why would the midterms matter?
All right. Now, in American politics, you need to pass bills and pass budgets, and to get certain things done outside, you have the Congress and the Senate. If you don't control these, they can work against you, meaning you would get a lame duck. A lame duck means a president that doesn't have the support of the Congress or the Senate. So when they try to do a war operation, the Congress passes a war resolutions action against you, and they make the operation come back. Right? If the House and the Senate at Congress work against you, you can do very, very little. That makes you a lame duck. You can't pass a budget. You can't pass a law. You can't do anything. That's why midterms are important. What has been shown on the ground is that even though there are strong signs of divide online, when it comes to on the ground, there's more divide within the left than there is the right. The divide on the right is strong, but it could be spread out. It could be thinner per state, right? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. This guy Hassan Piker, he's like a pro-Houthi, pro-Hamas, flag waving communist Maoist. That's what he is, right? He has 8 million followers, and a lot of people go on his stream and kiss his ass, but they don't understand that 8 million might be very thinly spread throughout every state, and you're losing the support of most of the Democrats in your state over where those 8 million are thinly spread. On top of that, how many of those people are viewers from outside? How many of those are third world, Pakistan, India, I don't know, from all over the world, Europe, that just hate America, and that's why they tune into him. So the online popularity of the division of the right makes it seem like it's larger than it is. But on the right, we're more consolidated. On the left, they're more divided on the ground.
All right. There is your explanation, Omid. Thank you, Monkey. And then Shana with the super chat saying, okay, that the new tariff. Okay, that's Okay, that's the new tariff strategy. According to what I've been reading, using tariff as a stick to get countries to behave better. Turkey has some. Yeah.
Yes, I believe what Armin was saying is right. You have to combine sanctions with tariffs because some of these people are our allies. So we can sanction Russia, we can sanction Iran, but we're not going to sanction Turkey. We're not going to sanction Saudi Arabia. We have to use tariffs on the companies and the people. Sometimes you do it directly to a person that are collaborating with the IRGC.
Yeah. You're not gonna, sanction the UK, for example. And yeah, thank you, Shana. I appreciate your super chat.
I mean, I
let's go
would,
back over-
but
yeah. I mean, true. It is an Islamic country. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? I like to see tariffs. Oh, we already played that one. Okay, you know what? Before I go to some, let me actually show you this because I promised you I will show you this before I go to more Trump videos. This was a video from inside Iran. I'll go and then I'll show you a video from Iraq. So this is American bombardment in Qeshm Island and Monkey Ahvaz. Ahvaz, remember you were talking about Southwest. Ahvaz is a main city in Southwest Iran, and one hope is that some of this bombardment are preparing some ground operations across southern Iran, including southwest Iran, because we're getting bombardments in Qeshm Island. And look at this video is also from Ahvaz. So let's look at these videos from people recording the bombardment in Iran underground. Wait, so this is Gesh. This one over here, I think the first one was in Ahvaz. I'm not sure, but this one is Gesh. Sarah saying, what is this from? This is American bombardment of Islamic Republic assets inside Iran, and civilians are recording the bombardment. Yeah, this was last night. Yes.
یا خدا
Ya Khoda means dear God. So, by the way, guys, like I know a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, where is this? Stuff like this has been going on for like 14 days straight. Like this is like, when you hear in the news, like, oh, bombardments, they're responding in Qesh, they're responding in Quiche. That's what it looks like. So this is like, when you guys are hearing the news, we haven't been showing you the videos on the ground, what they look like, but this has been continuously, what people, at least in southern Iran, has been experiencing in the more than past 2 weeks. All right. But again, the targets are not the Iranian people. The targets are IRGC. Another target by American and Saudi bombardments are Hashd al-Shabi, or the Popular Mobilization Front, the PMF, right? And this video, Monkey, is being celebrated in Iran because, guys, remember, Hashd al-Shabi are the same terrorist militia forces that the Islamic Republic brought from Iraq into Iran to help with the January 8 and 9 massacre, right? And now United States is bombing them, and they're crying over their dead and the Iranian people this video is getting shared a lot in Iran because the Iranian people are witnessing them experiencing what they did to the Iranian people. So they're saying this is a taste of your own medicine. So watch, these are Hashd Shabi people crying over their dead. This is from last night bombardment by Americans and the Saudis.
ما ابكي بعد ما ابكي عليك ما طول زعلتني ما ابكي عليك بعد ولك ليش تزعلني ايش سويت لك؟ سويت لك انا شنو سويت لك؟ البارحه اسولف وياك من وحده تزعلني بثلاثه ليش؟ شنو سويت لك؟ شنو سويت لك انا شنو سويت؟
So see,
Who
like
is
Sarah,
printing
who's
these little posters for the grave? These look like promo material. Like I've seen this in the ghetto where you take a thug and you make it like a T-shirt for him, for everyone. But this is kind of like that. I didn't know they were getting so ghetto over there.
Yeah. Sarah, who is Iranian in the chat, is saying one of these guys killed my uncle. So I'm assuming Sarah's uncle was in. So, by the way, sorry, Sarah. So again, sorry for your loss. So I think my understanding is, if I'm correct, Sarah, your uncle was inside Iran, and he was killed by these terrorists. And Sarah is also saying, "You killed us. It's your turn, you bastards."
It indeed is.
Sarah, thank you for sharing that, Sarah. Yeah. So this is why this video is going. A lot of Iranians are sharing this because they're now seeing these people experiencing the same thing.
Vengeance doesn't get you your people back, but it helps.
Yeah. And one thing we mentioned, we showed this on the Persian channel earlier today when I was streaming. So yeah, that's the guy, the terrorist over there. What I mentioned is that, guys, like, once Iran is free, we're gonna go after these people outside of Iran with the help of Americans and Israelis. We're gonna go hunting for Hashd Shabi, for Hamas, for Houthis, for Zainabiyun, for Fatimiyun. We're not just gonna think like job is done because Iran is free. They crossed our border, came to Iran to kill the Iranian people in support of the Islamic Republic. We will cross the borders of Iran to come out and hunt you down exactly the way that you crossed our borders. We're going to basically be doing exactly what the Israelis did after World War II, after the fall of Nazi Germany. They went Nazi hunting, right? So they went Nazi hunting.
Can I interject here a second?
I'm just going to say one statement. Let me finish that. The Israelis went Nazi hunting after the fall of Nazi Germany. Just because they had Israel, they got Israel back. It didn't mean that their mission is finished. Their enemies are outside of their country, and they go hunt them down. In the same way that the Israelis went Nazi hunting, we Iranians are going to go Durka hunting because the threats
legally
continue. Yes, of course. They're going to go terrorists. We're going to take out terrorists, just like the Israelis did legally, obviously. Basically, we're going to neutralize terrorists with coordination and help with the Americans and Israelis. Go on, Mickey.
Yes, what I was going to say is that these people are also the enemies of Iraq. So when there is a change of government, what's going to happen is that the Truth and Reconciliation Council, whatever you want to call it, that goes after these terrorists and these murderers that were coming out from Iraq into Iran will have the new government will probably have the help of people in Iraq, of people in all around the world to go against this, because once the new government is established, they will have legal methods to track all these people down. Of course, like, there is an emotional toll that these takes on people, and they may, in the heat of the moment, not mention that. We would never try to, ask for anything illegal, but just like these people were legally, basically bombed out of existence, there will be a reconciliation. It will be done legally, and all nations will open the door to the Iranian justice so they can hunt down these evil scumbags.
That's a very important addition, Monkey, that you mentioned, because Princess of Pahlavi has communicated, and the Iranian people also believe that we're not going to be violating any other country's border integrity and laws, especially if there are our neighbors. We want to maintain a good, friendly, peaceful relationship with our neighbors. So when we go and find these terrorists, these people are not going to be just our terrorists; they're going to be Iraq's terrorists. And we're gonna basically try to find a way to do this in coordination with the government there, unless the government is hostile to us as well and doesn't recognize that we need to eliminate threats inside these countries. For example, with Taliban, probably they wouldn't want that, but we're gonna try to maintain as peaceful relationship with the governments around us and try to have friendly relationships with them. And respect their independence and border integrity, for sure. That's a good addition. Thank you.
Well, you know what? For a second, like you say, like it happens to me. Like this is like I feel like you in the heat of the moment. Like I mean, in the heat of the moment, say, "Oh, we're gonna go over the old border and we're gonna find you." Yes, we're gonna do it with the help of the Iraqi government. The Iraqi government. We have to remember that because we have that knowledge that the Iraqi government is already working like to even find their corruption, right? In an investigative sense, we might like in the heat of the moment when we say we're going to go over the border and catch you, that it's some kind of illegal action, and not at all. Armin and I have reported on how the police are searching for these people, and we would just be having one of these extradition things where we help them catch them, we extradite them, and they face the justice that they're trying to avoid.
Yep. Mikey, you keep impressing me every day.
YouTube is sensitive. We got to watch out for them too.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, so Shauna with a super chat. Monkey, do you want to read this one? Thank you, Shauna.
So we are moving away from broad tariff into a new era of strategic targeted tariff. Economic analysts think it was always the plan. Yes, because broad tariffs don't punish the companies. You may have a company that's just doing their own thing. They don't have anything to do with outside forces, or they have very little outside trade. They're just selling, I don't know, coconuts, whatever. They're selling whatever they're selling, whatever their business is. It's a normal business. When you tariff the whole country, it affects businesses that it shouldn't. Now, with targeted tariffs, you can do it to people, and you could do it to basically just the business, just one business, just one bank, that kind of tariff. That is absolutely true.
Okay, thank you, Shana, and thank you for that information. That's good. So, guys, whenever I need to go use the washroom, I'll treat you guys with a longer video. I'll treat you guys with this person that I know you guys love and respect, because I need to go take a break. Sorry, but we want to see, again, guys, if you're new here, I'm just kidding. We don't like this guy. This guy is our enemy. But we do want to listen to what our enemies are how they're analyzing and how they're looking at the current situation when it comes to Iran, United States, and Israel. So let me just play this. And Monkey, is it okay if I play this? I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Oh, look at this people in the chat. No. I love you guys. Oh no. You're abusing. Sarah saying you're abusing us. Okay.
Look, he's gonna convert. You'll see.
Yes, we'll see. No.
Iran has conducted a bilateral negotiation with Oman. And Iran stressed that the United States is not a party to this, and neither are the mediators. Not Pakistan, Qatar, Egypt, Turkey. They're not involved. Iran said this weekend they held talks with Oman. What's the significance of this? If you've been following the show, you already know the answer. The MOU collapsed because under the provision of the MOU governing the Strait, it said that the Strait of Hormuz would be jointly managed by Iran and Oman. Strait of Hormuz is bordered by Iran in the north, Oman in the south. And so the provision in the MOU that governs the Strait says that together they will manage the Strait and they'll figure out a way to govern it with the consultation of the other GCC nations like the Emirates and Saudi Arabia and the rest of them. But it was the ambiguity in that provision that caused the MOU to collapse, because Iran insisted that what this provision meant is that they're going to control the strait. They're going to determine which ships get in and out. They're going to determine if there's going to be a fee and what it'll be used for. They will collect it, and so on and so forth. Washington came in and said, that's not the deal. Washington came in and said, the provision of the MOU says it will be jointly managed by Iran and Oman. So when Iran insisted that all the commercial shipping get permission from the IRGC to transit the strait, Washington and Oman together opened up a separate lane of passage, and they began allowing commercial shipping to go through this strait, to go through the southern side of the strait without Iran's permission. And Iran rightly pointed out that that undermines their negotiating power. If
I don't understand what rightly pointed out. It's like Oman was not a signatory to the MOU. They don't get to, ships can't go through their routes because the Islamic Republic, even if you had the wrong understanding, even if like the Islamic Republic's understanding of the MOU was correct and the United States understanding of the MOU was incorrect, even if we give them that, which is BS, why do you think that Oman doesn't get to have ships going next to its shore because you had an agreement between United States? Like, what the hell? Like, doesn't that violate whatever the rights of Oman as a country? Not that I, care about their rights, but still, on international norms, why would Oman not be able to have ships going across its shore? Like, you not only you're acting like you own the Strait of Hormuz, your half of the Strait of Hormuz, and that so the layers of stupidity is so higher. First of all, nobody owns the Strait of Hormuz. It's an international waterway. But even if some countries did, which they don't, then half of it would be yours, half of it would be Oman, and Oman would be having every right to have ships going through the southern route. Why would they have to not allow ships to go through their southern route because you had a deal with the United States? It makes absolutely no sense. Like, what?
I don't think you can violate the right of anyone to transit through the sea. You can't impose yourself on the sea. This is an open water lane. It's not owned. So the rights of everyone to pass through. Japan has a right to pass through, and they don't live there. You can't remove their right to pass through. China has a right to pass through. America has a right to pass through. They don't need to check in with anybody. This is why it's a problem.
Yes. But on top of that, even if they could stop, like, let's say that, oh no, the Strait of Hormuz is not international, it belongs to the countries that are there. Well, then half of it is Oman's. Even if you accepted that this is not international, it belongs to the country. So why are you stopping Oman from having ships going through their lane as if like you own the entirety of it? Because you had an agreement like they did that they didn't even sign. Oman didn't sign that deal. Like, what the hell? That makes no sense. But then Nick here is saying justifiably, the Islamic Republic justifiably thinks that the MOU means that we control the Strait of Hormuz. Like, what the hell? Like, like, did you forget that Oman exists?
I can understand why engaging with what he's outlining is important. Like, let's engage in what he's saying, even if it was true. What you laid out, it makes it so that it doesn't matter, right? But there's a more significant step that he's skipping. When you want someone to accept something bad, you put him in a situation when you're arguing past what he slipped in. And what he slipped in is that it's not international waters.
Oh, that makes good. That's a good point, actually.
Because he's going beyond the base argument. The base argument is this is international waters. So what he's doing, he's framing it outside of international waters so that it's important to see who gets to deal what, and whoever makes a deal and gets to accept the deal, it's acceptable that there be a deal. That's why I recognize what he's doing. He's moving outside the frame to get you beyond. This is what's called Like there's a guy that does this kind of thing. It's called neuro-linguistic programming. It's a method for marketing and sales, like for when you're pitching a contract, like this type of like deep businessman executive psychological warfare type situations, right? But it is like moving the frame past the point that's important to you and make the discussion about this little other thing, and maybe you can concede as many points as you want on this different frame because you got the important frame past the restriction.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Nima, thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. Saying Javid Shah, Nima, I appreciate you being a member here. Let me just finish this video with Nick so that we can go back to President Trump, because there are some important other statements from President Trump that we haven't played yet.
Oman together opened up a separate lane of passage, and they began allowing commercial shipping to go through this strait, to go through the southern side of the strait without Iran's permission. And Iran rightly pointed out that that undermines their negotiating power. If Iran allows Oman to basically have their half of the strait, and in Oman's half of the strait, the shipping doesn't need the IRGC's permission and they don't need to pay Iran, well, then the United States and Oman control half the strait, and Iran has no leverage over Washington. So this is why Iran began attacking shipping in the strait again, saying, look, the strait is open, but you have to go through us. If you don't go through us, it's still closed. So
the audacity. Well, yeah, dude. What if? Oh my God!
Iran met with, and this led to the collapse of the.
We thought the MOU means that we get to control of the Strait of Hormuz. Well, that's stupid. Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean? Not only if you think that's justified, then you don't understand how any of this works. If that's the reading of the MOU, that was obviously wrong. They thought the MOU is them signing a violation of all international agreements. Okay.
MOU.
I mean, as if the United States could even give them that. Like, as if, like, okay, if you could sign an MOU where United States gives you the Strait of Hormuz, it's like saying, like, hey, can I have an agreement where United States where we get, I don't know, Japan? Like, are you going to talk to the Japanese about it? No, I'm going to talk to the United States. As if it's like, it belongs to the United States to even give them that.
Iran attacking the shipping led the United States to intervene against Iran, which led to Iran retaliating against the United States, leading to the tit-for-tat strikes for the past 2.5 weeks. So after the United States suspended its attacks on Iran on Saturday, Iran met with Oman to negotiate over how they're going to manage the strait. And the Omanis...
Yeah, the negotiation goes something like this. Listen, you either do what we want to, or you keep getting bombed. How about that? Do you like being bombed? Do you like us bombing you? Do you like it? No? So just let us do what we want. That's the negotiation.
They did actually work with the mediators to come up with a proposal. And it was with Egypt, Qatar, Pakistan, and Turkey that they presented to Iran a new proposal that said they would split the strait 50-50. And today, Iran...
Yeah, so basically, Oman agrees to violate international norms. Sure. Like, yeah, so international waterways do not get to have tolls. Only canals. Straits do not get to have tolls. Canals get to have tolls because canals are man-made. If you build something for ships, then you get to collect tolls from it because you built it. It wasn't there before. If it's natural, like a strait, you don't get to collect tolls. So Oman agreed with the Islamic Republic to violate international norms. I don't think Oman would agree with that, especially given that President Trump threatened to bomb Oman if they do that.
And it was with Egypt, Qatar, Pakistan, and Turkey that they presented to Iran a new proposal that said they would split the strait 50-50.
50, sure.
And today, Iran refused.
Oh,
Iran rejected the proposal. Iran said the way that we want it to be is that we're going to have our half of the strait, which is ours, and you can have your half of the strait, but that's also going to be ours too. Iran said the inbound traffic to the strait is going to be controlled totally by us. They said in the outbound lane will be jointly managed by us and you. So in other words, they're going to control all of it.
Yeah, and that's gonna happen. What are the chances of that happening, Monkey?
Not, I mean, zero. I don't know. This is retarded.
Oh my God.
The
They're
thing
like,
is,
no,
a lot of the things that Nick likes to do, like you can't think about Candace and Tucker because they go full retard. But these people, some of these people, when they're making even a little bit of kind of sort of sense, they're taking what's being said at face value from the president, from the fucking mediators, from even Vance, from Pakistan, and they're like, oh, this is what's happening. They're like taking it all at face value and using the parts of what's being said at what's being said to suit their agenda, to suit their narrative. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, this also, by the way, shows that we're not going to go anywhere with any of this until the Islamic Republic falls, right? What the Islamic Republic wants in its so-called deal is not givable. Like, that's not like the demands are something that nobody can give them. That, like, the whole world cannot accept what the Islamic Republic was. So, but they are also not going to let it go. The Islamic Republic is not going to go let go of the Strait of Hormuz, and the world is not going to accept, the world, including the United States, is not going to accept them having it. So we're just going to be here until the Islamic Republic falls, right?
Absolutely.
So we might as well just get it over with.
I think we should make it fall.
You should what?
We should absolutely make it fall. Like,
Make
what
it
we
fall.
need is to take care of all the targets. And then because, listen, I'm going to run this by you. Okay. I'm going to run this by you right now. This is just an idea. Let's say we do strike the power plants. We strike every power plant, every single one. Because we have done this, well, geez, we can't just leave Iran like that. We have to start a humanitarian mission where we start providing energy from the south to the north. With that humanitarian mission, we start training civilian forces to deal with organization and civilian matters, not policing. We do it also train a police force. And hey, maybe our Tesh wants to come over. We start training and vetting them too. Start training and vetting everyone. Now, this wouldn't be war. This would be a humanitarian mission to help the new government.
Kind of like the Marshall Plan, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But with
Yeah,
funds from Operation Saffron Tide, which is a plan set forth to take the oil that the IRGC and the funds that the IRGC had spread all over the world that have been confiscated, and use those to reinvigorate and help the the reunification and the reconstruction effort.
Yeah, you know what? Don't you think before the power plants they should first try hitting? What do you want to do? Do you want, like, if it was up to you, would you go hit everything else except bridges and power plant and see that would do it, or and then hit bridges and power plant if it doesn't, or would you go for all of it in one go?
That's why I asked you, because what would you look at both scenarios? Like, how would the Iranian people feel if we said, look, we have to do the humanitarian aid because the power plants, I don't even care about the bridges. The power plants were dual use, so we had to hit the power plants. But now, because we hit the power plants, we have to do humanitarian aid. This is the middle of the desert. We can't leave them without power because they need power for water. So we have to go. We have to do the humanitarian mission. What if that was the excuse that we used to go in under a humanitarian guise? Would they be mad?
I mean, if it's not an excuse, but the help exists, then
if they actually go throughout the whole plan and give everybody power back, and maybe put in one of these modular reactors per city.
And I will get some hate for this, but I don't want to leave any chances for the Islamic Republic to survive. So I would just say go all out. Don't take a chance.
Just go for the power plants then, right? Just so that you can go with the humanitarian mission and arm the people.
Yes. If you think that it helps with the fall of the Islamic Republic, don't leave anything on the table. Don't just go do everything. Like, we will rebuild Iran. We just don't take a chance. We don't want the Islamic Republic to even have a smallest amount of chance of surviving. So just go all out. I would say go all out.
Okay. This is Armin's answer. Follow up. what do you think most, like, okay, let's take it for granted that at least 90% of the people maybe are not a royalist, but they're definitely not in favor of the IRGC and would support a change. How many of them would be kind of angry about this plan by percentage of those 90?
You
Like, I
want
know
the most
10%.
honest?
Yeah,
You want the most honest answer on this? Yeah.
absolutely.
The most honest answer is I don't know. I don't have the stats.
No. We don't have to go by this is okay. Let's go by your feeling on what the stats might be. Would you say, okay, of those, let's say count 100. 100% is everyone. Let's exaggerate. And I'm talking because we're talking fictional numbers. We don't have to be real with it. Exaggerate. Say 10%. And 10% might be too much. It might be only 5%. Let's say 10%.
How many Iranians would be okay? How many Iranians would be okay with you hitting power plants?
Let me lay out some number. 10% of the Iranian population are not pro IRGC, but they're not for change. They're not for change. They like things the way they are. They're not for change. They just want things they want status quo. They're afraid of invasion. They're afraid of a big change because their last change sucked. Maybe they're out in the country. Maybe they have different views, whatever. They're not pro change. Let's say 90% are pro change. Now, how many of those 90 that are left would be like, you guys went too far? Would it be like 20% of those that'll say you went too far? Would it go down to 70% full support for what happened?
If you hit the power plants, right?
If we hit the power plants, yeah. And this is a fictional number. I'm not tying you to it. I'm not saying like you look numbers up.
It depends on you hit the power plants and you do get regime change.
We get the people to have a transitional government, and we're basically hunting the RGC.
If it produces results, most of them, the vast majority of them, will be on. If it actually gets those results, like if you would go to a transitional government with Pahlavi, even the people who originally were against it, if it actually does the job, they will be for it. The vast majority.
Even the 10% might flip.
The 10% that are
that were against change.
Oh, no, the 10% who are against change didn't want you to change anything anyways, right? Among the 90% that are for change, some of them say like, okay, change, but don't hit the power plants, right? But if you hit the power plants and you do get change and you do get results, and Pahlavi does come back to Iran and we do have the transitional government, the vast majority of the people who were for change but against hitting the power plants would flip over and be like, okay, that was a good thing to do. Thank you for doing it.
That's my calculus. You understand why I say hit the power plants? Because if you hit the power plants, you call it an excuse, call it whatever you want. We would have to do a humanitarian mission because it's a desert.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: anything that people were against, if it actually does cause regime change, even the people who are against it, they will flip over and be like, you know what, that was the right thing. The only people that would be against it would be the people that were not for regime change.
What about those 10%? If there seems to be that the IRGC lost power, absolutely. They lost power. And they're seeing that the transitional government is coming from Pahlavi. It's not coming from the Kurd, what do you call those Kurds? The outsiders, the separatist Kurds. It's coming from Pahlavi. And it appears to be a secular. Do you think how many of those 10% would say, yeah, fuck it, I'm with it? How many of those might flip if they see that it might be more stable? So I know like 5% are going to be full Durka, maybe less.
7. So
3%. 7 would be like, look, you know what? This looks stable. Fuck it, I'm in.
Yeah. 3% would be like, I want an Islamic regime, or maybe a little bit more. 5%, I'm guessing, 5% would be like, this sucks. I want the regime of the Mahdi. I want the Islam rule. So 5% of that 10% would be, yeah, okay, this is good. I'm flipping over. But there would be a remaining 5% that would be like, this sucks. I want Islamic rule. I want Imam. I want my Mahdi. I want my supreme leader.
All right. Now I have one more idea. Before we go to the next segment, you think we could do some super chats and comments? Because I saw some there
Yeah.
that might pertain
Yes.
to this subject, but I can't read them.
Okay, let's go. Let's do. Dan Funk, thank you for the jewels. And Nima is said, thank you for the super chat, saying it's a gamble and needs to be heavy investment.
Needs heavy, yes, but
Big-
some of that investment on the economic side can come from IRGC confiscated funds.
I think Nima is basically saying, don't take a chance. Just go in. I saw many Iranians in the chat saying, like, yeah, just go for it. Don't take a chance. Or Midver, for example, was agreeing with me as well. And so does Nima. I
Yes.
think that's what he means. Yeah. Oh, so you start two comments that are in Persian. VPS ESZ is saying, as Navad موافق خواهم بود. As Navad موافق خواهم بود 60. Okay, so I think he's saying that from the 90% that are for regime change, 60% of them will be for hitting the plan. So 60 out of 90. I think that's what he's saying. As Navadi که موافق خواهم بود 60. So
Okay,
he
okay,
thinks
cool.
that, yeah. Okay, so that's what he thinks. And he also is saying, you start this comment as well, Monkey. Thank you. Saying قبل و بعدش درصدها فرق میکنه. قبلش خیلی مخالفن ولی اگه پهلوی بیاد بیشترشون میگن خوب بود. See, like he's agreeing with, so he's saying what I'm saying. He's saying the percentages would be different before and after.
I would suspect
Yeah.
so. That's why I asked,
Yes.
like you know, I made that later question about the 10%, and you said 5 might
Yes.
flip.
Yes. And also among the from the 90%, I think he's saying that the people who would be against hitting power plants, they will flip if Pahlavi comes back. Then most of them would be like, okay, it was a good idea if Pahlavi comes back. So that's what he's saying. And then he's also saying, yes, that's I interpreted him correctly. He's saying, yes, that's what I said. That's what I meant. So he's just confirming that we read
Well,
what he
glad
said.
to have you with us. I think he said one more thing there if you want to check it out. Glad to have you with us. Welcome to the English show. Always pleasure to have you with us. I'm glad to have Armin here so I can hear you guys.
Yeah, Mike, you asked great questions, by the way. Those are some really good questions. I'm glad you asked them. I
Pleasure to
wouldn't
be
have
of
thought
service,
about
homie.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought about explaining that myself. That's pretty good. All right. And guys, look at this. We got in the chat, we have people from inside Iran. And Monkey highlighted their comments so that you guys could get direct information as well. Okay. That was very helpful. Let's go to President Trump's, I think I have two more clips from him. I don't know if I played this one.
On the drone attack on the LNG tanker off of Egypt.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that? And is there any indication it's Iran related? Does it represent?
Well, I can give you a report. I've been briefed. It's a little more of the same, but it's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime,
On the
So I didn't get much information in the answer. So he's talking about the drone attacks on the LNG. Yeah, so that's happening. By the way, what's the Brent oil prices? Because Google is not updating it the way it used to. I need to find a better source. Seems like prices are dropping. Is that what you're saying, Monkey?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know why this chart is not giving me the right numbers. Usually when I search for it, it just immediately get the proper numbers. Okay, this is better. Okay, so we're at 89 now. Okay, so it's still not as high as the Islamic Republic was hoping for. I hope people understand that all of these attacks on the ships in the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, we were supposed to, the Islamic Republic's understanding was that we would be having $200 per barrel oil prices right now. So, but none of that is happening. The leverage that they thought is so much less than what actually turned, the leverage that they thought was supposed to be so much bigger than what they actually have. Let me also see this about Zelensky, and then I'll show you another video from inside Iran that will be very revealing. Yeah.
How was your meeting with President Vladimir Zelensky yesterday?
It was good.
Do you see a time scale for
No, it was good. Look, he's out doing his thing. I'd like him to end the war So it's very simple. I get along with both. I get along with President Putin. I get along with President Zelensky. And like I told him, I want to end the war, get the war ended. Thousands of people, 25,000 people died last month.
How's your
Okay, so that's Zelensky. Not that much over there, but let me go to this video.
Well,
So
I
this video-
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
wait.
Go ahead.
Our heart goes out to the 25,000 people that died, even if you're Russian or Ukrainian. There's not that much news on Iran, and we appreciate all the Ukrainians that are helping assist the efforts of the Iran and USA.
Oh my God! Thank you, Mikey. Thank you for saying that. You know, you're very aware of the the things that we should be said at the right moment. Sorry for
It's
me
like a
not
team
thinking
effort.
that-
If you got to be on point about the mechanics of the show, I can, kind of shore up the other side.
Thank you. That's very helpful. Thank you for that. You start another comment from an Iranian, right? Saying مردم ایران شبیه پرنده هما هستند. مردم حاضرن تا ابد صبر کنن تا جمهوری اسلامی بمیره و از استخوانش تغذیه کنن و دوست ندارن خودشون مستقیم هزینه تغذیه رو بدن. تو شخصیت شناسی طرفین خیلی کمکمون میکنه دانست. So he's just saying the Iranian people are like the Homa bird. They're willing to take, do what wait as long as it takes for the Islamic Republic to die, to eat from its bones. They don't want. Okay, he said they don't want for themselves to pay a big price for the change, and it's important to know people to be able to analyze properly. I don't know if I agree with this because I think the Iranian people have been paying a huge price themselves to make this change happen. So I don't know if I agree with that, or maybe I misunderstood it. But yes, I mean, they don't. Maybe you're right. Actually, they don't want to have to pay the price for it, but they will pay the price for it if they have to. Yeah, because in January,
It's like if
they paid
I'm
a huge.
between a rock and a hard place, like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. So this other Iranian, he's saying he's very unfair. That man is being very unfair because they paid a huge price in January. That's what it is. Anyways, and thank you, Monkey, for highlighting that. I do want to highlight this. So, Monkey, remember I was mentioning that my theory is that the Islamic Republic does the executions not to cause fear and intimidate people to not to come out, but to satisfy their own base of support. I said, like you always point out, that don't think people are stupid. They're evil, but they're not stupid. They know what they're doing. And the Islamic Republic takes advantage of a lot of stupid, but it's not stupid itself. It has the data. It knows that the executions causes more anger than fear. And it knows that the executions are some of the sparks that causes uprisings. So the executions doesn't prevent uprisings. The executions causes uprisings, right? So because a lot of people think that the Islamic Republic is doing executions to prevent uprisings. And I'm like, nope, that's not what it's doing. The Islamic Republic has a more immediate threat than the uprising of the Iranian people. And that's the crisis of legitimacy and the loss of support among its own followers. And it needs to give them something. There are four things that the Islamic Republic needs to give to the base of support to keep them. There are four things that the base of support of the Islamic Republic is losing faith in the Islamic Republic because these four things are angering them, right? The four things are this. 1, lack of enforcement of hijab laws. 2, lack of a meaningful response to the Israeli attacks. 3, lack of a meaningful response to the American attacks. That's 3. 4, not enough executions, right? And I also mentioned that 2 or 3 are things that the Islamic Republic cannot deliver on. The Islamic Republic is too weak to be able to deliver on numbers 2 and 3. So it needs to do 1 and 4. Like it needs to either lie and says that it has delivered on 2 or 3, but that could only last so long. That's what the whole point of the Lego videos. That's the point of the lies of, we hit an F-35s, like we hit the USS Abraham Lincoln, is to try to pretend that they delivered the 2 or 3, but that could last so long. And once the supporters of the regime realize that on 2 and 3 they're weak and pathetic, the Islamic Republic has to find some other ways to satisfy them. So like they hit Kuwait and Bahrain and Jordan, suggesting that these are Zionists anyways. These are extensions of global Zionism, because they can't hit Americans and Israelis. They execute because they can't deliver the blood of President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. They want the blood of President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. The Islamic Republic cannot give them that. So it needs to execute people to deliver, to give them some blood, to give them something, right? Even though they want more executions, like these people, they want thousands of executions. They don't want 12 executions. They don't want 20 executions. They want thousands of executions. And the Islamic Republic can't give them thousands of executions, because it knows that would definitely cause an uprising. So it tries to give some executions to them, and then make it big, like try to bring it in public, try to advertise it, and try to sell it as something very significant that they did to try to satisfy these people, right? Another thing that I predicted that they're going to do is that they're going to bring the hijab stuff again. They're going to mention hijab again, because they can't deliver on hitting America and United States and Israel. They have to try to deliver some on hijab, but they also know that they can't enforce hijab laws too much, because they don't want another Mahsa incident that will cause another uprising. So what they will do is that they will bring some hijab enforcements, that will record it, they will make it try to go viral, they will use people like us to our anger to show it, so that it goes viral, so that the regime supporters will be satisfied by thinking that something is happening, right? So remember all of that I said, all of that. Does that, did I explain that properly, what's happening here?
Yes.
Okay, so here's an example of what I would just said. This just came out yesterday.
ما یک هشدار به این موسادی ها، به این وطن فروشان داخلی بدهیم.
So he's saying we need to give a killing to these Mossad people, to these betrayers, these traitors inside our country. So he's talking about the anti-regime people, right? So they call the anti-regime people who protest, they call us Mossad people, right? And
so it's basically calling for an execution. Like, if you're going to break it down, that's what it is.
Yes, basically.
Right?
Yes, thank you for summarizing it. So he's saying we need to kill these people. So it's like, you people, the Iranians who are anti-regime, you have no more place in this country. We need to kill you. I want to thank the judicial branch of our country for, like, he's thanking them for the executions. So, by the way, this is Imam Jum'eh Rasht. This is the Friday prayer Imam of Rasht city, which means that he's the representative of the supreme leader in the city of Rasht. Right?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Now, I know that because you've been, and I don't want to derail this too much, you've been an atheist debater, right? Like, this is something you've done. So you have probably studied many religions, right? Like many religions, right? So you know how basically Catholic and Christian preachers operate, how Jewish rabbis operate, how people within the Hindu religion operate, how perhaps Buddhists operate. Is this kind of bloodthirst seen in any other religious? Nothing like it.
No.
It's no, not even close.
Not even close. Not even like. No, not even remotely close. This is on a completely different level.
Like, you'd have to go into jungle cannibals to find something like this.
Not even there. Oh my God, no cannibals. What?
They're more
Not
about
even
keeping their territory.
Yeah. Like, they don't turn it into, they don't turn killing into an industry, right? It's just a diet. It's not an industry.
I'm just saying from the preacher standpoint. Like if we're just talking about this is a religious. Am I wrong? Is this a religious preacher? Religious figure? Is that why he's
This
dressed
is
like this?
religious. This is a religion leader. This is like a significant religion leader because he's the Friday Imam prayer of the major city in Iran and the direct representation of the supreme religious representation of the supreme leadership in the city of Resh. So this guy's a big deal from religion.
Basically, like one of the Pope's bishops, right? If Mushtaba is the Pope, this is one of his bishops, basically.
Yeah, there you go, something like that.
So Islam is the only people that do this on earth.
Oh my God, yes. I mean, I think, well, actually, the only people that could compete are communists.
Okay, so you know what? I'll grant it to you because communism has no math and no science, so it is basically a faith.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you call it, sure, if you want to. I mean, I don't want to debate definitions, but whatever you
Technically,
call
if we
it,
go into the technical aspect, does communism work scientifically? No. Does it work mathematically? No. You gotta have faith in it, then, right?
okay, sure. Yeah, yeah, but the only other, whatever you want to call it, system, ideological structure, worldview that could compete and beat Islam in the number of people it kills is communism.
What about long term?
Oh, long term
might be
Islam
a-
is
they
way
might-
more.
Islam, okay.
Long term, yes, because communism is economically so self-destructive that it will do bursts of killings and then it will self-destruct. Islam lasts longer, so over long term, Islam kills more. Yeah, but to also tell you how significant, when you ask me that, I wanted to make sure I bring this right. So this is the Islamic Republic structure, right? So this is the supreme leadership over here, right? So this guy that I'm showing you over here, this is the Friday Imam prayer of Resh. Where he would go is all the way down here to the right. You see this 900 number here? He's one of this 900, okay? But he's a big deal in this 900 because he's the Friday Imam prayer of Resh, which is a big city. So this 900 is 900 district supreme leader representatives and Friday prayer imams. So he's one of these 900. So let's go back to him. Great questions, Winky. Let me go back here. So he's thanking the judicial branch for the recent executions that we just saw yesterday. Like they have started to do the right things, basically.
که جمهوری اسلامی 40 روز درگیر جنگ با خوک‌های جهانی بود.
So these people shouldn't think that just because we were at a war for 40 days with international pigs or like worldwide pigs, basically meaning the Americans and Israelis as pigs.
جریان دی 4404 رو فراموش کردن.
Like we didn't forget what you guys did in January. Like he's saying, just because we had a 40-day war, it doesn't mean that we forgot the events of January. So he's saying like we know what you guys did, the uprising. So he's saying like it's interesting because most people think like the Islamic Republic would want to forget the January uprising because of the massacre that they did. They don't want the world to pay attention to it. But he's making it seem like the January uprising is something that they should be holding a grudge over, not us who have been massacred. He should be holding a grudge over that because people were trying to do an uprising. He said, look, we're not going to, like, we should be telling them we're not going to forget what you guys did in January. But this mother tucker is saying we're not going to forget what you guys did in early January. Right? Like he like, yeah, we're not going to forget. Now we're coming for you. We're going to execute you. That's what he's saying.
He's basically calling for like if we're going to take it like very literally, he's talking about the arrest. Because if he's talking about January, he's talking about arrest. We're not going to forget what you did and start punishing the families of those held in prison by killing their family members.
Yeah, he said we need to now that the war is over, we need to go and basically keep executing the people who participated in the January protests. That's what you say.
دی 1404 رو فراموش کردن. به این زنان و دختران کشف حجاب میگویم.
And like saying, now I'm talking to all these women who are not wearing their hijab.
شما فکر نکنید این مردم شما را تحمل میکنن.
Don't think that our people will tolerate you. He's saying, like, because right now there's a lot of women in Iran walking around without hijab. So she's saying, don't think we're going to just tolerate that. Like, our people will not tolerate that. Like, this is not going to last forever.
و اینها مگه به خیابان میان با شما همدرد نیستن. هر کسی میگوید غلط میکند.
Or like, and if these women come to you into the streets, that doesn't mean that they're with you. So remember that during the 40-day war, these people were in the streets. I mean, right after, sorry, the 40, these people were in the streets for 100 days. So, chanting against the MOU, chanting for maximum aggression, chanting for revenge against Americans and Israelis for killing Khamenei. During that time, there were women without hijab joining the street protests, pro-regime. Like, look, we are so diverse. We have hijabi women here. We have hijabless women here. Now we told you, right, that once the war is over, once there's ceasefire, they're going to go and turn against them, right? During that time, they need maximum participation, so they're not going to say anything. In fact, they're going to encourage it. Right after the war is over, they're going to turn against them. So this man is saying, we're not going to tolerate you. Just because they came into the streets and protested with us against the Americans and Israelis, that doesn't mean these women are with us. So what I mean. You're saying if these people are with us, then why don't they see how big, like, why don't you see how many we are here? Like, basically, I think he's suggesting that we don't need them. Like, we're already many.
Agreed.
So, yeah. So,
yeah, this guy's a nutbag, like a psychopath.
Yeah. I'm showing this to show you that, that I knew what I was talking about. Like, when I said that these people, he's advertising. Yes, that. And on top of that, two other things. That the point of the executions is for these people to come and celebrate it and distract these people from the fact that they have been humiliated by the Americans and Israelis, and just focus on how they have power over unarmed Iranian people. They don't have power over Americans and Israelis. So instead of focusing on that, let's focus on the fact that we have power over these women that don't wear hijab. We could do something about that. We could satisfy feeling powerful by, harming them, and we could execute people. That's what we could do. The Americans are too powerful. The Israelis are too powerful. All we can do is hurt unarmed Iranian people and feel like we're powerful because we can do that.
I think that, yeah, it is like, you also understand the desperation, right? You also understand why we want to do everything we can to stop it. We understand that they are desperate. They are going to do this more. But like we have seen in the discussion group, that people are wanting to do everything they can to try to stop these executions, and also that an effort is being made. And I want the people that are maybe only in the day during this show, maybe not getting a chance to see the conversation that goes on in the other show. Everyone has like their eye on this. They would like justice. If they can't free the people from execution, they're remembering the names. They're making sure everyone knows the names. They're trying to figure out the circumstances. Did they get a lawyer? Because if you're gonna have trials afterwards, like Armin was talking about, when we seek justice across every border in conjunction with every government, so that these people can escape, especially these judges and these prosecutors, well, they're taking all those names into the account, and all these people's bloodlust, they will pay for it. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Exactly. We got some super chats. Shauna saying, don't forget to check CPI. Food prices are still high. It's unrelated to the war. It's actually due to MAHA and reindustrialization, but normies don't know that. Monkey keeps
I
bringing
did. I
attention to
did. I got the
rules. Yes,
CPI
yes,
right here. I got it right here.
yes, okay.
From June 2025, there's a 3% hike. So for every $100, you're paying $3 more. From now to June 2024, that's 2 years ago, back when Biden was in charge, we have an increase of 5.7. So for every $100, you're paying $5 more, 0.7. Let's put it 6. You're paying $6 more. Now this does include, oh, it takes gas to take the food to the store, because this is at the retail price. This is what you pay at the register. So for every $100, you're paying, let's say, $6 more. If you're spending $200, it's $12 more. I mean, we can look at it. I don't think it's maha. I don't think it's like an incredible, unsurmountable amount of money, right? And if we look now versus this January, it's 1.7, let's say $2. For every $100, you're paying an extra $2, right? Now, what this doesn't include is the increased taxes on income, increased taxes that and this is average. Even if you have a sales tax, this is averaged out that too. Now, if you're looking at the local taxes that don't apply to retail, and let's say you live in Washington State, well, then you're paying out your ass. You're paying a whole lot of taxes that make everything seem rough. If you're in California, if you're in New York, well, you're paying a whole lot of taxes, right? So that's the problem you got right there. But when it comes to the CPI, yeah, about 6 cents on the dollar, $6 for every $100 from
you and Shana,
2 years ago.
You and Shana point out that, a lot of people keep blaming the war for the inflation, but they should be looking elsewhere. So thank you for reminding people of that. Let's go to, and thank you, Shana. Thank you for the super chat, always supporting us. Rod gave us 10 joules. Thank you so much, Rod. Fleshy Interloper saying, salty confetti. Oh my God. Javid Shah Payende Iran. Javid Shah Fleshy.
Thank you.
Payende Iran. Thank you. Thank you. You start this comment. You wanted to respond to this?
Oh, yes. This goes on the types of murder that are done by Islam and communism. And I think you would know more about this than me. You might say, how though? How did communism kill more people? The answer, look up the Sapia Pride car. This car takes more lives than cancer every year. I hate communist cars, bro.
Yeah. Yes. No. Yeah. The air pollution in Iran takes, I think, around 40,000 people a year. So basically, one of the January massacre every single year, because of the Islamic Republic pollutes the air, because they sell the higher quality fuel that will burn cleaner to outside, and they burn inside Iran for electricity. They burn the lowest quality fuel, and they also run a lot of Bitcoin mining operations that they burn the lowest quality fuel for Bitcoin as well, which pollutes the air to such a high level.
But he says more than cancer. It's like an unsafe car.
Yeah, so now that I'm getting to that, and then there is the cars in Iran. The Islamic Republic on purpose bans imports of cars, high quality cars inside Iran, because the IRGC owns these car companies that make cars internally. So because it doesn't want to compete with better models coming outside, these very low quality cars, they basically are coffins with wheels, right? And so many every year. Because of low quality roads plus low quality cars in Iran, I think around 20,000 Iranian extra die every year because of these policies that the Islamic Republic has, if I remember correctly. So these are command economy bad. This is not just Islam. This is just like the things that they inherited from communism. The Islamic Republic. So they kill in so many different ways. Just one order by Khamenei, for example, Khamenei ordered no vaccines coming from Western countries to Iran during COVID. And I forgot how many people that killed, but that was also in the tens of thousands, right? I think it was like something, I don't remember exactly, but it was either 40,000, 50,000, 70,000. I forgot the number, but that killed an extra, tens of thousands of Iranians just because Khamenei said that the vaccines have something that hunts the Iranian DNA, and the Americans are using the vaccine to do that. So he wanted to use internally made vaccines in Iran, which didn't work. So
Do you know what some of the calculus there is? Well, if they die, we get to keep their property, right? And what are you, a life lover?
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, so many. Yeah, it goes beyond Islam. The way they kill is like, it's not just Islam. It's just so many bad management and other policies. Shauna with a super chat saying these men aren't spiritual leaders. They're ghouls. Is that how you pronounce it?
100%.
Thank you, Shauna, for the super chat. And Stick and Beans, thank you so much for the 10 memberships for people in the chat. 10 gifts. We got 10 gifts, guys. So 10 more people are now member. Thank you, Stick and Beans. Appreciate that. Okay, so let me go to who's your favorite Democrat? Monkey.
Geez. Do they have to be alive?
Yes.
Probably Fetterman.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so look at this video. I haven't watched it myself, but Laura Loomer posted this saying, wow, Democrat Senator John Fetterman has bigger balls than most Republicans. He's calling out the pro-Hamas and pro-IRGC drop site news for their sketchy funding and support for Islamic terrorists who murder Jews. Meanwhile, someone at the White House actually gave Dropside News a press pass, allowed them in the traveling press pool because of course they did. Hard to imagine how that was an oversight, but whatever. Dropside News should be investigated. So let me watch this.
Julian Andrioni. Who are you with? Drop Site News.
Oh, you're Drop Site. Oh, no, it's like a race between who's the more pro-Hamas, Drop Site or Zidio. So now I got both. Hi, everybody. Yeah.
You mind if I ask you a question really quick? It's about.
I just want to say I want your viewers to say how much I love to watch Israel eliminating the Hamas leadership.
Then you may like. This
I know that upsets a lot of your viewers and a lot of your founders.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a great thing. So there's
President
no news
Trump,
coming out of me. I'm going to always back Israel. The question is, where does your trash outlet come from, and who's funding it? And now, if you think your founders think it's appropriate to attack and kill Israeli civilians, that should be the news overall. And now you're sticking a microphone in my face, so there's not any news here. So
President Trump.
I think the question is, why does Drop Site love Hamas and Iran and Hezbollah so much? I think that's the news. Yeah. I mean, are you okay with taking your paycheck from these kind of people?
Are you okay with Prime Minister Netanyahu being in the United States?
I love killing Hamas leadership.
I think there was hidden breaking news there. I think there's hidden breaking news because apparently he's not saying anything new. And we know Drop Site News sucks, but there is something breaking. There's something very important, something new that hasn't been seen for a very long time. John Fetterman is wearing a suit, ladies and gentlemen. He usually has a hoodie. He has a suit on. This is breaking news.
Breaking. That's true. True. Yes. What the hell? I didn't notice that. You're right. Somebody in the chat is like, Fetterman in a suit? First time seeing this. You know what? Yeah, I'm not used to this. So let's go to this other. Look at this. He's meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu and he's wearing shorts. Such an important meeting.
Don't raise your leg like that. It looks like you're smuggling prunes.
Oh my god, let me see what this is about. So Prime Minister Netanyahu and Fetterman just having a meeting. Oh my god, look at this. Like you're meeting with the Prime Minister of United States main ally. Yeah. This is so weird. This is so weird, but I like it. I wish more people just.
I wonder if Bibi got him to wear a suit. He's like, come on, guy.
He's not just not wearing a suit, he's wearing shorts while meeting with the Prime Minister of Israel. Okay, let's see what this is.
It's good to see you again. You've been a stellar patriot, talking about what is good for America, what is good for our alliance, of which you've been a champion, and you've been telling it like it is, with no fear, and just an indefatigable and courageous commitment to the truth. And I want to thank you on behalf of the people of Israel. It's good to see you again.
Why is he on his phone?
Probably live streaming. I don't know.
Yeah, probably
making a little video. Okay. It's like, hey, I'm here with Bibi. You bastards, you're gonna cry.
I mean, in the previous video that I just shared, he was also like, is he always just like live streaming? Because if you go back here, like, look, he's has his phone up all the time, like the entire time. Like, if I mute this, look at this, and then over here, he's looking at his phone. I don't know, is he streaming? Is he live all the time? Okay, let me actually go here. I think this part, this is Fetterman speaking to Netanyahu.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Prime Minister, it was a supreme honor of my time here in the Senate to proud and stand with and for the vision and what Israel is, the miracle that Israel is. I've had the privilege of visiting a couple times, and when you witness it and you can just realize what a miracle it is, and how it's been disappointing as a Democratic politician, and how our party continues to behave. And we had the culmination of that where that worthless mayor in New York, saying these kinds of ridiculous claims. Now, I think, as far as I know, I was the only Democrat that was proud to push that trash back. And now here we are. It's like, but I'm proud to stand with Israel through everything.
Oh my God. Oh, so like they're gonna push him out, and you know who's gonna welcome? Like, people say, no, you people are so prejudiced on the right. Your people are so prejudiced. We got RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk. These were all leftists. Donald Trump was a left. He was a Democrat all his fucking life. Like this, he has lived a long life, most of it as a Democrat. All of these people are on the right now because the left has gone insane. They've gone insane. So many people came to this side because the other side has gone absolutely insane. I'm not saying their fiscal policy on the left was sane, but now that it's like joining, when it comes to a big party tent, you're basically taking people that are on the left and putting them in economically, more conservative ground. So if you take the fact that Fetterman, yeah, maybe he wants to help some people out. Maybe he wants to be a little bit more inclusive, but he doesn't want kids involved in it. And he supports Israel. And maybe economically he's moving to the right also. Well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have sane people on our side. I hope the left keeps going more DSA and keeps splitting themselves in half, and that the more sane people among the Democrats just quit so they don't have anyone they can rely on. And all the sane people are on the right, and the left just keeps losing. I hope that's what happens.
Yeah. But do you think he's going to become a Republican at some point? Is that your prediction?
I think it's looking like Murkowski is going to wind up going to the Democrats, and we get Fetterman.
Oh my God, that would be the end. It would be. I like to say, there's one Democrat that I like. So if he leaves the party, I wouldn't be able to say that anymore.
Which one was that? Run it by me again.
I said, like, I like being able to say that, not all Democrats are bad. But then if he leaves, then I can't say that anymore.
I thought you had another name that might come over. Like right now, he's the only one that pops to mind that is a little bit sane. Like I can't think of any other.
Yeah. No, I can't think of any other. I think if he leaves, I could say all Democrats are bad.
Yeah. He's the one that makes it like not all of them. It's like, yeah, there's that one guy.
Somebody is giving a name that I don't know. Nolibug is saying Richie
I'll keep an eye on him. I'll try to keep an eye on him.
Okay. Monkey, I need to go to the washroom. You know what that means?
It means I should go too?
No.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Oh,
Okay.
Jesus. I almost got a heart attack. I
Okay.
thought it was Piers Morgan.
Wait. Oh, wait. What? Okay. Wait. Never mind. Okay. Here.
No,
Here's nothing.
God damn it. God, it spoke too soon.
If you say so. Okay.
Oh, no. Sabotage myself.
Okay. Piers Morgan. I'll be right back.
I think that it would be very damaging for American standing. I think it would be damaging for what was referenced as the American empire. I think that weakness in one area is quickly seen and understood by enemies all around the world. And if you're weak in one area, you are deemed to be weak in another area as well. And I know this from, from the local micro environment of the Middle East, where we fight various enemies. If we are perceived as weak by one of our enemies, then the others will perceive us as weak as well, even if we aren't. The test case of Hamas versus Hezbollah, we were weak and unprepared to fight. And, we had these whole paradigms of thought that were very defeatist and sounded very similar to the point that were made just a few minutes ago. And the enemies heard that, saw that, took notice, and they used it against us. And then the other enemies thought that, well, maybe we'll have a go at Israel as well. And Hezbollah went, and the Iranians went, and many others. The point here is that, yes, of course, wars are horrible. People die in wars. I have fought. I don't know who else on the panel has been in uniform and put themselves in harm's way, but I have fought for my country. And Israelis continue to fight for their country, not asking anybody to fight for us. Unlike many other American allies who ask for Americans to be deployed in their countries, we don't.
That's such a good point. Everybody is like, America, come do this for us. Come do that for us. Israel is like, we'll do it. Can you let us do it?
I'm shocked. I am shocked. Look, he hasn't said, hang on, fun son. Is like predicting the hang on, and so am I, but he hasn't done it. I'm shocked.
Yes. Yes.
And with the current situation here, I think that it would be actually humiliating for the US to do such a childish and immature and, Barbie-like kind of thing, to say, well, enough, and I'm just going home. Let's forget about it. Have you ever heard of a leader say such a thing without thinking about the serious long-term consequences for the projection of force, deterrence? Think what will the Chinese say? Well, of course, the Chinese will have levers of influence over the US as well, whether it's energy, chips, manufacturing, rare earth minerals, and many other things. It'll hurt to confront the Chinese as well. It'll hurt to confront the Russians as well. So what? If you believe in something, if you listen to your enemy, and the Iranian regime is an enemy of the United States of America, they would happily kill every American.
What's your strategy for victory?
Find somebody interrupt. This was the longest uninterrupted fact after fact delivery of facts on Piers Morgan that I've ever seen. Finally, like, this guy's good, and I'm surprised that somebody gave in and interrupted before Piers did.
That's basically what happened. That's like, I don't know why Piers I don't know if he's getting instructions or the side, if he's trying to silently pass gas, because if you look at his face, that might be what's happening. When you're trying to like stretch the cheek out just right so it gets out, but no one hears it. I don't know what's going on here, but he looks like I've seen that face. I've seen that face in the mirror. He looks constipated.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
Okay.
So too graphic. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yes.
Too much monkey business.
All right. Let's see what this guy's problem is. That was, by the way, that was great.
As well. So what? If you believe in something, if you listen to your enemy, and the Iranian regime is an enemy of the United States of America, they would happily kill every American.
What's your strategy for victory?
Oh my God, the question, like the interruption isn't even about what he's talking about. Let him.
They would happily kill you as well if they had the opportunity to sue.
What is your strategy for victory?
This, my strategy.
I mean, that's
as
a
an
very
Israeli
important
is-
question, Jonathan. No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. What is victory? Because if victory is supposedly preventing Iran from developing a nuclear weapon,
No,
I
it
would
isn't.
say it is far
It
more
isn't.
likely.
It
Well, hang
isn't.
on. Well,
That
hang on,
isn't
that's what
victory.
Donald Trump has
Oh, there it goes.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. There it is.
said. That's what Donald Trump has said.
Okay. You know what? I think he agrees more with you regarding what the goal is. The goal is to defeat the enemy. Jonathan.
Yes.
Yes.
I start a comment here. Heavily dislike the guy in the middle. Even forgot to shout his name. That's John Kiriakou. He's like an ex-CIS TDS sufferer. Yeah, that's who that is. And you're right to dislike him. He's kind of a sleazy TDS sufferer.
Okay, let's listen to him then. Here.
None of this works. And this is an ongoing problem that we've seen stretch over the course of decades. I saw it at the CIA. It's easy to invade a country. It's easy to kill the leadership, but it's almost impossible to come up with an exit strategy that works. And we never think these things through. There's never an exit strategy. We always think that we're going to be greeted as liberators, and we're never greeted as liberators. We're greeted as invaders and
I mean, Iraq looks pretty closer and closer to liberated to me. Doesn't it look like that to you, Monkey?
I think he's like, I don't think he's correctly representing what an exit strategy is. I think he is heavily implying that some of the bad strategies that the Democrats had should be laid upon the feet of the Republicans, because every time they say, well, this strategy failed. Okay, so we went in under Republicans. It was great when we went in, and it sucked when we went out, and we went out during Democrats. What does that tell you? Democrats suck at war. They won't go in, and when they come out, they make a mess. That's what it is. But people like John Kiriakou will lay that at the feet of the current administration. He won't say, well, it was Biden's fault that the Afghan exit was shit. It was Clinton and Obama's fault that we had. It was Obama's fault that we had so many problems in GWAT. They won't talk about that. They won't talk about how they failed the mission, how they limited the options of the fighters, how they gave us rules of engagement that absolutely sucked. If our rules of engagement are so bad that we basically go to jail if we operate effectively, and you're giving the advantage to the enemy, if you're limiting our supplies, you're limiting our reach, you're limiting our resources for no good reason, then the problem here isn't our exit strategy. It's the problem here is having the Democrats anywhere near controlling any part of a war.
occupiers. If there's one thing that this war has done in a very short period of time, it has united Iranians inside the country. Again,
lies. What? Hold.
Time. It has united Iranians inside the country against the United States, Israel, and the Gulf.
Bullshit, motherfucker. Don't fucking lie. Fuck you. Don't fucking lie. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck
I'm
you.
sorry.
Fuck you.
His mic sucks a little bit. Like I suffered. You suffer a little bit too. Let's roll it back. Let me see what he said.
One thing that this war has done in a very short period of time, it has united Iranians inside the country against the United States, Israel, and the Gulf countries.
No, it hasn't.
Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
Okay.
Fucking,
okay, I get
fuck
it now.
you, motherfucker.
Okay.
Fuck you that hasn't done that.
Oh, okay.
Fucking liar. So you don't. Fuck you. You don't represent the Iranian people. You have no fucking idea what you're. I mean, you do. You fucking liar.
Well, okay, no, but like, tell us more. Tell us how you really feel. Go for it. Like, what has it really done with the Iranian people? It's united them against the IRGC.
Nothing. Are you? The Islamic Republic killed tens of thousands of Iranian people in a matter of hours on January 8th and January 9th. You think that American and Israeli bombardment killing the occupiers of the Iranian people, killing the people who were massacring the Iranian people on January 8th and January 9th. You think them dying? You think the Israelis and Americans killing our occupiers, killing the people that execute them, killing the people that massacre the Iranian people is going to turn the Iranian people against the United States and Israel and in favor of the Islamic Republic? You think there's any single thing on this planet that is going to make the Iranian people go back to the Islamic Republic? You're fucking lying. You're not even delusional. Nobody could be that stupid. They were massacring the Iranian people. You think the American and Israeli bombardments will go tens of thousands? How many Iranians died with the American? How many civilians Iranians died under the US and Israeli bombardments?
I think it united people against the IRGC.
The Iranian people, did you not see the Iranian people begging for bombs to being dropped? Did you not see the videos after videos after videos coming out of Iran? The Iranian people stressing out that what if the Americans leave? What if the bombardments stop? They were like, please don't leave us. There were even minutes. There were during the bombardments, during the 40-day wars, there were minutes of no bombardment. And Iranian people were stressing out that where is it? What if they stopped? And then the next, every time there was a next boom, and they will feel like relieved that they're still here, that the Americans are still here. Please keep at it until they fall. Why would the Iranian people turn in favor of the Islamic Republic after the fucking massacre of early January? Even if you forget everything else that they have done in the past 47 years, what the fuck do you think they're gonna forget what just happened?
I think the Iranians in the chat are also furious. They're like really, really angry. Look at this. They're just furious. They say I united people, against the IRGC. Like, I think your anger is not just justified, but mirrored in the hearts of many Iranians. I like maybe. I don't know if this expresses it. Can you see what they're saying?
Translate that? That's pretty graphic. This Iranian is saying, look,
I like graphic. I'm a monkey.
He's saying my dick. He's saying my dick into the pussy of your entire to your entire ancestry.
You know what? Take that, John Kirikow. Take that, Dick.
My God.
I think you have helped relieve some of the stress that this leftist CIA analyst, like, people try to pretend that these agencies that they are without bias, and that's a ridiculous notion. During the Biden administration and the Obama administration, that's why Jeff calls them Obama retreads, because these are the people that gained traction during Obama, and they're regained traction under Biden. This guy got fired, but he is very much an analyst. He wasn't like a field agent or anything. He was just like an analyst for them, and he has ridden that little analyst chair in this little analyst cubicle out to sound like he's this big CIA guy. No, you're no badass. You're no badass. You're just a leftist CIA analyst. That's all you are. And you know what? Take that, Dick.
My God. The Iranian people would be united against this statement. Like, this is something that the Iranian people would be united. Like this.
There's a few of them. There's a person over here, Shakrami. I could start some comments here. They seem like they were furious. There was a lot of fury. I started an earlier comment that's not about this matter that we could address later, but they have some things to say here to Mr. John.
So Nika is asking me a question, saying, Armin, chara hey duroug az amune ma pakhsh mikona in rasana. So these are Iranians, by the way, guys, inside Iran. So Nika is asking me that, Armin, why over there they keep playing lies from our mouth? Like, why are they putting words in our mouths? Why are they lying? Like they're actually wondering, like, from inside Iran, they're asking me why in American media, like Western media, why are they putting words in our mouths? Why are they misrepresenting? Why are they lying about what we want? So
Are you going to tell them, or should I?
How about you tell her and I'll translate? I mean, yeah.
One of the things that we have and we hope to bring to Iran is freedom of speech, Freedom of speech, it means that bad ideas and bad information gets to fight good information, right? This isn't a statement from the state. This is a statement from a program. As you can see, the person that went before had something that was a lot closer to the truth. So if you're not gonna have the state decide what is the truth has to fight a battle in the public. I would imagine that you would prefer to be able to openly fight lies, even if lies exist, than have the state say what is a lie and what is the truth.
Yeah, so Nika, do you understand monkey, or should I say it in Persian? I'm going to say it in Persian.
Say it in Persian for them so they can understand.
Okay. So مانکی داره میگه که چیزی که ما الان توی آمریکا داریم که برای ایران هم میخوایم اینه که یه روزی که آزادی بیانه. وقتی شما آزادی بیان داری، این به این معنی هستش که دولت نمیتونه بیاد تعیین بکنه که چی واقعیته و واقعیت باید بتونه بجنگه. واقعیت باید بتونه، یعنی دروغ‌های خواهد بود، دروغ باید بتونه با دروغ خودش مبارزه بکنه. وقتی که شما آزادی بیان دارید، دروغ خواهد بود، یعنی واقعیت ادعاهای واقعی خواهد بود و ادعاهای خواهد بود که دروغه و واقعیت باید تلاش بکنه که بجنگه با دروغی که هست. یعنی کار واقعیت سخت میشه، چون اگه آزادی بیان برای حرف راست هست، آزادی بیان برای حرف دروغ هم هست و واقعیت حرفی که راسته باید با زور بتونه برنده، یعنی بتونه خودشو توی جنگ بین باورها ببره، چون کسی نیست که بیاد به زور حرف راست رو بچپونه ببره.
If I was going to say one last thing that you could tell them, even if you win the physical victory against the IRGC, your fight against deception will never end. You must fight against deception. That fight will never end. And the only way to fight it is with freedom. It's not with restriction. It's with freedom that you have the most ability to fight against deception, because you will have the most broad spectrum of tactics and ideas to fight deception.
Yes. I'm going to tell this in Persian, but then after that, I want to tell you something about that. So, میمون داره میگه که حتی اگه ما جنگمون با جمهوری اسلامی تمام هم بشه، جنگمون با دروغ تمام نخواهد شد، چون دروغ همیشه خواهد بود و ما همیشه باید بجنگیم که با دروغ مبارزه کنیم. Monkey, did you know in Zoroastrianism, which is Iran's original religion, one of the greatest sins is lie, and Zoroastrianism is obsessed with fighting for the truth and fighting against lies. Like being honest is like one of the most important things in Zoroastrianism as a religion.
That's friggin' awesome. I love that. That's fantastic. That's a good
and
that's a good moral center.
It's interesting because Islam is actually a religion that mandates lying for the sake of Islam.
Oh, I think in one of the hadiths, Allah is called the best of liars, which to us means, the best liar is the devil.
Yeah. And Nika is also saying in Persian that this guy is not our voice. And GTA in Persian is saying the media always betrays us. They make money from our blood. So that's what.
Listen, the media betrayed Iran ever since before the revolution. They propped up the Ayatollah when he was in France. You had the BBC, ABC, NBC, ABC, CBS, all of them propping up and playing favor to the words of the Ayatollah. And France flew him over. So we are aware of the betrayals that they have done against you. They do the same betrayals, the same kind of betrayals against us every day. From the communist side, but aligned with the Islamists.
All right, let's see. Let's continue with this.
No, it hasn't.
The Iranians have
You
to do
don't
to
know
win
that, and it hasn't.
That's it. That's all they have to
You
do to
don't know
win.
that, and it hasn't. And you can look at the amount of executions by the Iranian regime, including yesterday and the day before
According to
yesterday,
Israeli
public
sources.
hangings.
And the Israelis
You can
make
see
that
how
up
united they
He's saying the executions happen to the Israeli sources. The Israelis make that up. So he's saying the executions last night didn't happen. What the hell?
This was like state state, propagandized, right? This is not even in doubt. They're not denying any of this.
They published it. The regime media is posting about it. What is this guy ex-CIA or whatever? Like, how is he so?
He's a liar.
Retarded?
He has a low-level position. Like, let's say I go to the police. Let's say I go to the army. But in the army, I'm a grease monkey, right? But instead of telling people, hey, I was just a grease monkey, I start saying, no, I was a badass. I was out there killing people every day. I know all about going into the field. I know all about how to operate this and that machinery. I'm running and gunning. I'm like that. Then I'd just be elevating what I was to try to get my point across. That would be very bad. I think that's what he's doing. He's not labeling himself like, look, I was just an analyst. I don't know. He's trying to prop himself up as a high-level CIA agent to say that he was some kind of he has some kind of insider knowledge on things that are blatantly just lies.
How pro-regime do you have to be, where the regime itself is posting videos and announcements of the execution happening, and you're saying the execution didn't happen? Like, this is a level of cuckoo, like, I mean, at least they claim, not that, maybe he's lying, right? That I haven't seen even from Anna Kasparian and Tucker Carlson and Cenk Uygur. Like, this is a different level of cuckoo. Like, it's official. The executions happen. He's like, no, it didn't happen. Who says that?
Oh,
who says
crazy.
that? I know he's not crazy.
crazy.
I'm just saying his claims are cuckoo banana. Like, the claim.
He
itself.
knows that this is an audience that is susceptible to this type of lies. So he is propagating that lies because he knows that most of this audience hate Trump as much as he does. So he is reciting programming lines to fellow TDS NPCs, non-player characters that are going to go down that dialogue tree. He's like giving an update to the dialogue tree of the NPCs. Oh, that's regime. That's Israeli propaganda.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to this.
Regime, including yesterday and the day before yesterday, public hangings. You can see how united they are.
sources.
The only thing that they are united against is against
According to the Islamic Republic sources,
the horrible regime
Yes.
that oppresses them. And the fact that you are doing their work and strengthening the propaganda.
So, Jonathan, if that's the case,
Jonathan,
hang on. Jonathan, if that's the case, why is it that Israel has never been more unpopular, particularly in America, where 2/3 of
what the hell? Who decides? Like, that's a logical fallacy, which is appeal to popularity. What the hell? Like, oh, if that's the case, why is
it also has nothing to do with the point.
Yeah, it has nothing to do. What that has to do? Like, oh, if the Islamic Republic is executing people, then why is Israel so unpopular? What?
That doesn't make any sense. Like, the reality here is, this is why I like to explain something. NPCs update their dialogue trees according to the level of updater. This is a CIA updater. An NPC will take that dialogue. These are just Israeli reports that we can't trust. And within their system's update of the non-player character, they will say source CIA. So now that they have a CIA, no, but the CIA says that these are just reports from the. Do you understand where he plays into the propaganda machine? Mm-hmm. Because an NPC, a TDS suffering NPC, will take that dialogue, put it in their dialogue tree, and say, I have this source, CIA.
Unbelievable. This guy is so off.
Americans have a negative view of Israel. 50% of Americans nearly want Netanyahu arrested on American soil. So you can talk about the Iranians and how everyone's united against them and so on. Actually, what is happening, and I say as somebody who likes Israel, likes Israelis.
That's another lie.
Hates to see this happening, but your country is becoming increasingly a global pariah because of the actions of its government, that government is being driven by
if I have to be unpopular to be able to kill my enemies as effectively as Israel is killing their enemies, I understand that they could do more, like Charlie Kirk mentioned. They should be doing a lot more when it comes to winning against the propaganda. That is true. But at the same time, if the price of me being able to eliminate the people who wish me harm, the people who want to kill my civilians and my soldiers, if the price of that is to become unpopular, that is a price that I would pay 100 times, 1,000 times. I would pay that price if it means that I get to watch my enemies die. You agree with that?
Look, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolute psychopaths like Ben-Gvir and Smodrich. And the more those guys do, and the appalling scenes we're seeing on the West Bank, for example, appalling scenes, right, which you should be the first to condemn.
Oh my God! These people keep like. First of all, let's get it.
By absolute psychopaths like Ben-Gvir and Smodrich.
You know, the Ben-Gvir and Smodrich, they go Ben-Gvir and Smodrich. First of all, a lot of the things that Ben-Gvir and Smodrich do is not as bad as these people make it. Some of them I disagree with, but they make it seem like Israel is just Ben-Gvir and Smodrich, Ben-Gvir and Smodrich, Ben-Gvir and Smodrich. The Piers Morgan, you know what Piers Morgan doesn't do? Piers Morgan doesn't point out that so many people in Israel. Some people in Israel like Ben-Gvir and Smodrich, but Israel has, I think the majority of Israelis in the chat, I don't know, but at least a huge segment of Israel is aggressively against Ben-Gvir and Smodrich. But Piers Morgan knows this, but he comes and says Ben-Gvir and Smodrich as if they're the prime minister, as if they are representing the entirety of Israel. Like imagine if it's like, imagine if somebody says like America sucks. And then you say, why? And you say, because of J.D. Vance. Well, that's not fair. That's not fair to America. Like to just say like, oh, J.D. Vance, screw America. Look at J.D. Vance. That's basically what's happening here.
Or look at Nancy Pelosi. Look at AOC. America sucks. Look at Gavin Newsom. America sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Gavin Newsom. Look at Biden. America sucks. He doesn't represent like everyone. He doesn't represent even a majority of people. Like not even half. Like if you split America half and half, you won't get half and half.
Yeah, exactly. See, Amir Israeli is saying yes, Armin, and Hezi is Israeli saying true. Most of us don't like them. Even government supporters don't like them. So even the people who support Prime Minister Netanyahu's cabinet, the government, they don't like Ben-Gvir and Smodrich.
I think we have some important numbers here from Yehuda Edward. He's saying 130% of remarks mentioning some percentage without source are totally credible. I think that math works out. I think that's just the math on these things.
That works out. That checks out.
Driven by absolute psychopaths like Ben-Gvir and Smodrich. And the more those guys do, and the appalling scenes we're seeing on the West Bank, for example, appalling scenes, right, which you should be the first to condemn.
Yeah, the appalling scenes on the West Bank are the terrorists that are occupying the West Bank. That's the most appalling. Yeah, I'm sure like the other side does some misbehavior. So like every single Israeli is a saint.
Armin, I think you have a broken cable. Because that happened to me when my cable is like a little wonky and you move the thing, the cable when it bends, like there's broken lines inside the cable sometimes, like that kind of thing happens. I wanted to point out, while you check that out, I wanted to point out something. If you listen to what this was about the opinions of the Iranians. Then it went to executions, and somehow Piers Morgan made it about Gaza. Not just about Gaza, about how much America hates Israel and then Gaza. He completely subverted and censored the conversation on Piers Morgan Uncensored. He completely derailed the conversation.
Is my microphone okay?
You sound great now.
Okay. Now I just wanted to point out, like, Israel is not, and Mikey, I don't know if you know this or not, okay? But not everybody in Israel is a 100% good person or a saint. Do you know? Like they have some people that might be doing bad things. No, I know it's shocking, but
wait a minute. Are you telling me they have leftists?
Yes, they do. They have all kinds of people. They have good people. They have bad people. Okay, but some people who misbehave, it's shocking, guys. I thought everybody in Israel was like 100% good person, right? I didn't know that. I'm so sad. But what they do is that they, you have a whole bunch of terrorists in the West Bank, well, in Judea and Samaria, sorry, that want to wipe out all Israelis, Jews, Muslims, everyone else. They want to kill every single Israeli. And that's a reality. That's a dominant view, by the way, in Judea and Samaria among the population that occupies that area. That's a reality. But then in Israel, you have Israelis settling in the West Bank, and most of them do not misbehave, but some of them do. And then you take those few people who misbehaving, and then you highlight that, and you try to make them the representatives of all of Israel, ignoring the fact that the people on the other side, they are jihadi, terroristic lunatics that would wipe all of Israel out if they could. And like, oh, look at this individual over here doing something that was not appropriate. Okay, what did you expect? It's a country that every country has certain people that are not behaving perfectly 100% all the time. Like, don't you see how bigger the problem is on the other side? So they really exaggerate how the Jewish settlers in the West Bank and the Judea Samaria operate, ignoring completely how much bigger the problem is on the other side.
I think the thing that makes the difference here is that you will have among the Israelis, when they find misbehaving of Israeli, they will call it out. They will say, I am against that, right? Because this is something the Hermit King says, Haspengo, if you don't police the worst among you, you get defined by them. So among the Israelis, if they don't police the people that say, no, we just want to genocide all the Muslims in Gaza, you will have Israelis that say, no, we have to police that, because if not, all of us will be seen as having this view. So that's why I can commend the Jews for having this attitude, the Israelis for having this attitude. Now, I want to ask you, after this Muslim person ran over a whole bunch of people at the Pride Parade, how many mosques in Germany condemned it? You want to guess?
How many?
Just throw a number out there.
Zero.
Oh my God, you guessed it. That's exact number. They're not going to police it because they support it. So I'd like to point that out. I also don't like how he turned a conversation about RGC supporting Iran and executions into Israel is unpopular and Gaza. He just completely derailed the execution talk. And I had seen, like, even way earlier in the show, a comment about one of these executions that I'm sorry. If you want to finish the clip, I don't know if there's anything else on this.
I just want to highlight something that you said, Russ, right now regarding Israelis. Do you know where most, the anti-Israelis, right? The data that they use, the research that they use regarding criticism of Israel, and where does most of it come from? Like the sources.
Okay. I'm gonna imagine that they use the same stupid source that ICC and UN sometimes uses, Hamas.
Well, no, I'm talking about like actual like investigations and whistleblowers, and that is more sophisticated than what you could get from Hamas. Let me actually tell you where it comes from. It comes from Israelis, right? Because Israelis are very self-critical, and there's free speech there, and there are institutions there that constantly try to whistleblow or expose things and try to call out the the army or misbehavior of soldiers, or call out politicians regarding how they're treating the so-called Palestinians, or whether they're going too far or whether they're too aggressive. There's so many, and sometimes a lot of them are not justified, but some of them are well-meaning. But it comes from Israelis. It comes from inside Israel. because you were pointing out the level of, because they act like, oh, Israel is just doing this and everybody is on board with this or this, with Smotrich or Ben Gvir, or with this line that this person used, or that thing that settler in the Judea Samaria did, this represents Israel. But they don't know, before it hits international news, it hits Israeli news, and the backlash is mostly from inside Israel. Like, if, for example, if a settler in Judea Samaria does something that is actually abusive to a Muslim over there, before you actually get to the leftists and the Muslims and the anti-Israelis, you already see backlash from inside Israel before it even hits the rest of the world. Because Israel is very self-critical and they care about these things and they want to behave well. They want to have high moral standards. This is why I love Israel, because they self-police, right? But all that information and the investigation that comes from Israel, then it gets abused by the rest of the world. But usually when you look at where the source is, it's from inside Israel. And again, some of them are not justified because they have their leftists. They have their, like, some NGOs that are basically just are unpatriotic as well, just like the rest of us do. But some of them are also good data, good information that needs to be investigated. But I'm just saying, like, looking at Israel as if like these things happen and nobody looks into it and everybody's on board with it, it's just such a misrepresentation. It's the opposite of what Israel is. Does that make sense?
Can I break it down?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to break it down. The only reason you even know about these things is because Israel has freedom and a free press and a self-correction. So you're using their self-corrected measures to make sure that they work within a strict legal framework, strict moral framework, and you're weaponizing their self-correction against them. The fact that they even care, that they even let you know that these things happen, and they didn't hide it and bury it and say, no, that's just lies. Yet the fact that they admit their wrongs and self-correct is being weaponized against them by people who do not self-correct and do not have this moral framework.
Yeah, that was a perfect summary. Better than what I said. Let me just see if there's anything in the last 12 seconds of this, and then you want to say
I can't
something.
condense stuff I don't hear. Like, if you hadn't said it, I couldn't condense it. So without you, I couldn't do it.
Thank you. That was good.
Scenes we're seeing on the West Bank, for example, appalling scenes, right, which you should be the first to condemn.
Oh, that was it. There was nothing else there. All right, but you wanted to highlight something?
Yes, there's this message that has been, because these people were kind of like manipulating a conversation that was about the sentiment in Iran. I wanted to bring this out. That's been highlighted for a while. This is from Nika. Nika Shakrami is telling us that the videos kept from me was forced confession. Tell everyone I didn't kill anyone. This was Amir Hossein Safari's final request to his mother before his execution. Like, when this guy, this John Kirikow liar, is trying to like diminish and lie about these executions, I want you to see the evil. I want you to see the contrast of what is a TDS sufferer's evil. In case you're still a Democrat, I don't know why. I want you to see the contrast between the evil of this Kirikow and the reality of the situation. What you want to say anything about this, Armin?
No, I think that's perfectly said. Thank you, Monkey, for highlighting that. And Nika,
I want everybody to know that. And Nika, like, I got your back. I saw your comment. I highlighted. This was one of the first one. She's been telling us for a while, but you know what? I don't consider that spam. I consider that an important message. Over here, MB is telling us he's a left-wing CIA agent. This is a problem with the left wing. This is more of a left-wing problem. They'll outright lie to you. We have 2 Jules from Silver Star from Fit Over 50 Fitness. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we have 10 Jules Gold Coin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have a message here from Nika. I'd like you to read if you can.
یک بار که باید راست بگن، آخه هر وقت موقع ما میرسه باید دروغ میگن. با خون نوشتن فرزندان ایران جاوید شاه، باز میگن شاهزاده جایگاهی نداره بین ما مردم ایران. موضوع اینه که نمیخوام ببینن، چون برخلاف let me see there's a second part to this probably. Let me go up. Is there a second part to this?
I'm sorry if I missed it. I'll
No,
try
that's
to
okay.
find
That's
it.
okay. I think I know what it is. I think I get it. So she's saying, if there's one time they have to tell the truth, it's now. Oh no, like they have to tell the truth once. Whenever it gets to us, like Iranian people, they lie. The children of Iran wrote with their own blood Javid Shah. So you know what, like when the Iranian people were being massacred by the Islamic Republic in early January, they they put their hands into their own blood and they wrote "Long live the King" on the wall, and she's referring to that. He's like, even after that, they keep saying that the prince has no popular support, even after what the Iranian people did in early January.
I see. I saw, and not only do I see what the chatter is saying, I saw that with my own eyes. I saw that they were writing their messages in blood.
Yeah. And then she also says, like, the truth is that they just don't want to see. Like, they don't want to see.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, no one is more asleep than the guy that's pretending to sleep. There's no one more blind than the one that doesn't want to see. We have April Joy Magic sending some jewels. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. James Raish is saying IRGC is executing Sullivan, but Israel is unpopular. Piers Morgan censored chimes in.
Yes.
He's
yet that's pretty. That's a pretty. James is IRGC is killing civilians. Yeah, sure, okay, but how do you explain Israel being unpopular? Wow, that's a great comeback.
The hell does that have to do with anything? Ridiculous. We have Monica May sending us a gold coin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have steak and beans. Ben-Gvir and Smotrich are not PC and are representing a lot of people in Israel and in the IDF. I don't agree with Amir. They have big support on the right. Okay, so here and the religious population. Okay, so here's the thing. What I suspect is that if I take a look at what Ben-Gvir has said and was saying right now, and what is this guy Smotrich is saying right now, I'll probably say, oh, this guy is the extremist. This is so basic. I would go so much harder. Like you knowing me, would I probably go harder than Ben-Gvir?
No.
I go pretty hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, Mikey, we didn't say his support is small. We said that his support is not, there's disagreement. Like he doesn't represent Israel. He represents his base of support, right? He is here. So let me see. Like it is level of popularity.
Oh, I think he's talking about someone else. Amir. Okay, he doesn't agree with Amir.
Yeah. So Amir was saying that Ben-Gvir. Amir was agreeing with me. Because Amir in the chat was saying, that, yeah, Ben-Gvir, we don't like Ben-Gvir. So Sticking Beans, as another Israeli, he's saying, actually, Ben-Gvir has a big base of support. But what I'm saying, Sticking Beans, is that these two don't contradict each other. He doesn't have majority support, but his support is significant. So both of you and Amir are correct. So I just checked, his support is 33%. So 33% is big. But it's not the majority. So 33% is a big number. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It is quite significant, especially in a coalition government.
Yes.
And what do you think about what I said though? Like, is this guy that hardcore when you look at someone like, I don't know, Marco Rubio, when you look at someone like Pete Hegseth?
Yeah.
Like Pete Hegseth is pretty hardcore. Like he doesn't. Pete is more.
No. Ben-Gvir is more out there.
He's more hardcore. I want to know more about this guy, and I mean current. Like whatever you said in the past, I don't care. Like I don't care. Like what is he currently saying? Because people change their mind. People kind of tone down. When you're a youth, you're a little bit rambunctious. When you first get out there.
So recent, I mean, he has said many things. Like, well, let me give you a taste of recent ones. The most recent one
I
that
love
I remember. Okay, so the most recent thing that he said that people are like, oh my God, he said for every mother of ours that they may cry, we should make thousands of their mothers cry. So pretty.
That's too ambiguous.
Right.
I mean, why? What makes them cry? Maybe we do a little, you know, I don't know. Like, did he imply death? Did he say death? No, he said cry. I don't care. For me, that's not hardcore. If he said for every one of their children we kill, we want to kill 1,000 of their children. Okay, wow, you really went there. I'm not mad at you, but you really went there. As long as they're fighters, I don't care. And let me read the message, actually. I'm sorry, Steak. Many Israelis don't give a fuck anymore about how much other countries and peoples love or hate us. Many just had way more than enough of the, I think PC means Palestinian. What does PC mean? I think it means of the PC, like politically correct. They could be politically correct. If they're sick of the politically correct, I fucking hate them. If that's what you mean, I completely agree. And if it's the Palestinian commies, I also agree. I'm also sick of them. So yeah.
You know, I'm reading his most controversial takes, and I'm not finding any disagreements with them. Maybe I'm a radical.
You're right. That was my suspicion. Like they
Amir. Yeah, Amir's gonna hate me.
Like, it's got to be recent, though. I don't want to hear the old stuff because, like, people, if you're going to go over 30 years, I mean, maybe you've said some stuff that's kind of out there.
So, for example, I ask, no, hold on, let me, like, for example, I'm asking Gemini, like, give me his most controversial takes. It's like, here's one from 2024 saying, we will not allow any surrender that will even include a declaration of a Palestinian state. I'm like, yeah. How's that radical?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, so
of course.
Okay, here's another one that is very controversial. It's saying we must promote a solution to encourage the immigration of the residents of Gaza. You know, I agree with that actually. So I don't know.
Yeah, as long as they don't go north.
Yeah, so,
as long as they don't go to UK.
I'm a Ben Gavir fan. Oh no, am I radical?
No, okay, that could be controversial if they're immigrating to the US, to Europe. That's a problem.
No, I think he means into Egypt or somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Egypt doesn't want them. Their wall is bigger. Like if Gaza's an open air prison, Egypt has the biggest door. They're the ones that are like, nope, no way.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay, I have to reevaluate. I have to see why Amir and Hezi don't like him.
That was my suspicion. Maybe it's Ben Gavir Diaz derangement syndrome. I don't know. I have to check. Okay, Tin Lee says, how can China and Russia still support Iran? Okay, there's two ways to look at that question. How? Because they're so fucked, right? Because Russia is hurting right now, and China is hurting right now. So how do they have the money to do this? I believe Iran still leeches off the population inside Iran and gets some money that way, right? And I believe they may still be doing land route operations. We destroyed some of the land routes into Pakistan and other countries, but I don't know that we destroyed all of them. There may be some land routing for trade. It may be just based on promises. If you're looking at still support, like why even support these guys? They are a destabilizing force for America and American allies' trade and security, especially in energy. So because they're trying to do the BRICS, it's not really working out. But because they want a competing bloc to the allies, anything that destabilizes the allies is something they support.
You know what? That was a perfect answer. I don't have to answer. I don't have to answer that.
Steak and Bean says he is supported by 75% of the right voting people. Oh my God, this is like they're Trump, I guess.
I'm looking at it. So you might be right. Oh wait, just under 60% of right-wing Israelis support Ben Gvir, with approval peaking at 77% among religious nationalists and ultra-Orthodox demographics. So that's the number I'm getting. 60% of right-wing Israelis, 77% of religious nationalists and ultra-Orthodox.
All right. And you know what? Sometimes actions speak louder than words. We got Selig BC.
Thank
With
you.
a Selig BC with a $2 super chat. Wait, I don't know. Is that a super sticker? I can't see the
It's a super
stickers.
sticker.
We appreciate your donation. That's the point.
We do. And guys, we are going to be going to our discussion group today for our group call. Monkey, will you be there today?
Yes, but probably for the second half.
Second half. Okay, so guys, come join us in our group call. I'll put the link in the description. We have daily group calls. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to come talk to me and the monkey. So this is our discussion group. We're going to have our group call in about an hour, and you get to join. If you don't want to come and talk to us over there, you could just come listen to our discussion on Liberty Politics. We're going to go live in 1 hour. We're going to broadcast our group call over there. We're going to talk about similar topics that we just talked about right now. And also, guys, make sure you subscribe to both Liberty Politics and also to Monkey's channel. And don't forget to like the stream before we end it. But let me actually put the link to Monkey's channel in the chat. He's at 794. We're trying to get him to 1,000. Here's the link. Just support the monkey. Go there, feed him some bananas. Oh, we got another super chat. You want to read this one? Thank you, Stick and Beans.
Yes. The love or hate to Ben Gvir is not about politics but religion. Oh, I see. Ben Gvir is leading the religious Zionist party, and they are not the ultra-Orthodox. They are among the highest percentages of IDF combat recruits. Okay. So he has a lot of sway among, I'm guessing, military and religious support.
So,
he has a lot of religious and military support.
To be fair, some ultra-Orthodox also participate, do go into the IDF. But I understand, like, not all religious people are ultra-Orthodox. We also have the religious Zionists that are proudly participate in the military, but also some ultra-Orthodox also participate in the military as well. But yeah, he's not with the those crazy anti-Zionist religious nut jobs. He's not with them, obviously. He's part of the government, so he couldn't be. But yeah, so it is. Here's the thing: whether Ben Gvir is good or bad, the point what I'm making is that Israel is diverse, right? It's not a monolith. So just even if you're a supporter of Ben Gvir, I think it's fair to say that Ben Gvir is not like a full representation of Israel. Like, do you guys agree with that? Like, whether you like Ben Gvir or you hate Ben Gvir, at the end of the day, Israel, it represents Israel, not this politician or that politician. That was my point. And I think you agree with that, right?
Yes.
So see, like, yeah, look at this. This is getting country. Like, Israelis are disagreeing on this, saying this person is saying Ben Gvir is anti-Israel, and also Hezi, another Israeli, saying sorry, Stick and Beans is talking BS. So you see, this is what I'm talking about. You see, Israelis in the chat. We have pro Ben Gvir people and anti Ben Gvir people, and they're Israeli and they disagree on Ben Gvir. That's what I was trying to demonstrate, the diversity of opinion in Israel.
I think there's an opportunity here. Yeah. I think there's an opportunity here for us to talk about a really good guy, a really great guy, Guy Landau.
Oh, Guy, yes. Okay, yes.
Guy Landau is a person who has a more nuanced take on this. Like, as you see, we're outsiders, but you know what? Here at Liberty Politics, Armin is giving opportunity to different people from different places. Over here, we have Guy Landau. We're trying to get him to surpass me because he's been at this longer than me. but I make a lot more videos. So it's a tough competition. It's getting up there, 39 videos. That's good stuff. You can watch that stuff. You can come to his show, talk to him, see what he has to say. He had a very interesting one. Put where it says videos. I want to show the last one that he did, or live, probably live. Like he did one very recently that I thought was fantastic. Oh, switching sides. Is that Nikki? That was such a good show. I saw a lot of that. It was a fantastic show. Lots of fun. You guys should go ahead and check him out. He's a fantastic guy.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna put the link to his channel. Go check him out. He's pretty good. He's the best on this stuff. On Israel, I think he's the best for sure. So yeah, go check.
Completely agree.
Yes. All right, guys. I shouldn't touch the microphone. I think it's ruining the USB. I think I need to get a new wire for it. All right, guys. Monkey and I are gonna go get something to eat and do some other stuff before we go to our group call. Again, oh, by the way, the group call is also available in the QR code in the top left over there, so you could join us over there. And yes, Monkey, anything you want to add before we go?
I want to apologize to anyone that wanted to see the stream last night. I'd had some programming stuff going on with the computer I had to fix, had to erase a whole bunch of stuff. Anybody that does their own computer stuff, you know what I'm talking about. Do a little reset. You got to reprogram so much stuff. But I have it working now, and it should be good for tonight's stream at 9.
Awesome. Guys, don't forget Monkey's channel. Subscribe to him as well. He does great streams as well. All right, guys, I'm going to have to go. I'm starving. I'm really hungry. I'll see you guys in 1 hour. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukraine, Cuba Libre, Long Live America, Javid Shah, Payande, Iran. Mwah.
Peace.